He's actually traded a lot of his health bar. He doesn't really have the engage, but Violet, he's looking for it.
Nice! Oh, Violet not quite able to get it, but this is the power of the misfortune. And now, with all this action in this bot side, it's exactly what the Death said. It's exactly what Chronoker and Emily said. They wanted to see some action in the bot side to try and get something going for them.
And look at the two jungle pathings, right? You've already got Babip, who is going to be able to make his way down towards this bottom side and try and look for a gank there. And his clear is incredibly fast. 315, he'll be able to make his way in towards River, pick up the Scuttle. And if you have this heavy trading, it favors peace, because you look at where this Kiana is, Tarzan's nowhere to be found.
No, he is not, and we have gotten a lot of thoughts on the meta from you, Dagda. And you know what? I want to hear from the rest of the world. I want to see from the Verizon 5G all chat. What do you guys think of the meta? Who do you think is going to win? Because right now, it's just looking like pure chaos, and I love it. No, you're not allowed to talk anymore.
I wasn't sure, to be honest. I was kind of like, oh,
I am not until I want at whoever on Twitter to tell me my analysis from now.
Perfect, gotcha. I mean, it's where the best analysis comes from, a second to Reddit. But top side.
Absolutely, top side. Vizicachi now getting his first little taste of the LNG top duo with the jungle. First blood going over to Ale.
And it's nice to see Tarzan at least having a little bit more control in this game. Like, you have the Kiana where we were looking going, okay, cool. Yeah, in the game number 1, didn't have the biggest impact. We kind of set behind. Now, though, instantly moves up top level 3, gets that pick, gets control after skipping. You can see both the Herald, the Scuttle, no, next one, Wolves, and also Crump getting up towards the top side. Yeah, it's been a bit much. But the Kiana now in that top side, picking it up and having a bit more impact. Kills early on assassins are crazy good, especially when you're playing against another assassin, because oftentimes it does come down to that one-shot potential. Babip still has the advantage at the moment. Tarzan will have to be safe, but it will help out a little bit.
Ordic coming in towards this mid lane does have 2 in the chamber to be able to try and get himself on top. They will get the taunt down and actually a little bit damaged. The ignite is actually not available. It's actually just a little bit of grievous wounds, and Tali will just about survive. Icon almost getting the solo kill.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if Icon was actually just going to pop the get the corrupting pot damage to maybe tick down Tali, but Icon controlling this mid wave really well. And again, this gives Icon now the opportunity to push in, look for roams early, and when Ale's already been set up for success, maybe he helps out Light and Iwandi, or just continues to double down on this Fiora, who is a win condition in and of herself.
Piece on the back foot. They've got themselves a little bit to deal with, but with Bapip now roaming up towards this top side. No level 6 yet, so no death mark just available. So bursting down Ale is going to be a little bit difficult. Just going to opt in now, try and get a thing. And you can see there, he's level 4, and he's got himself a, pretty decent setup now to kind of give himself opportunities and moments where he can just roam into a lane and see if he can catch someone off guard.
Yeah, it's kind of hard though, right? Because you've already got a push in top lane right now for Vizicachi, so he's more kind of just sitting there saying, hey, look, maybe I can sit with Ale. Bot lane playing relatively safe as well, but you can see, like, right, you get the Tarzan on this bottom side. Light instantly starts to push this in, going to be looking for getting a bit of control in this bot lane. So LNG playing around their wave states well and making sure that there isn't a huge amount of opportunity for Babip to make these plays.
See where it ends up kind of going. Icon getting himself about a 10 to 15 CS lead into that mid lane. Of course, kind of to be expected. Galio, as you said, just waiting to just soak up that pressure and move when he hits that level 6.
Yeah, and I'm curious how he'll work with Babip, right? Because you can look to try and invade into the jungle, look to pick off the cannon. You have the advantage in the 1v1 for Babip, but I think that's why it'll be interesting to see if these assassins stay in meta, because I'm curious, if you don't get a couple of kills, you don't get the ball rolling, how useful are you going to be? Is Babip staying a long time around this bottom side? But Light and Iwandi are well aware that there's some trickery going on.
And no flash onto Iwandi either, so they do need to be a little bit more wary of a very fast Zed clear coming down towards their lane as he just goes back, picks up some more camps. We do have level 6s now available to the middle laners. Junglers should not be far behind, neither should the top laners. As now Tarzan, he's going for a long walk. He's got himself an opportunity, but this time around, Vizicachi says, I got a ward.
Yeah, unfortunately, Icon isn't able to get control of the mid lane, so this wave will crash before you have mid lane pressure. And even Babip, because he spent so much time down on this bot side, is actually rotating up towards top. So definitely don't want to overextend here as LNG and find yourself caught out, but maybe Tarzan has a different idea.
He's not level 6 just yet, and you will have the grand challenge coming down. They have no idea that Tarzan is here, but there's a hell of a lot of minions coming in, so they're going to try and take him down. He flashes away. Nicely done there by him to try and keep himself alive. Tarzan tanking up just the perfect amount, and that is another quick kill into the top lane.
And LNG just read the play well. If you actually look in the mid lane, Tali and Babip had actually roamed down towards the bottom side, looking at trying to pick up this dragon. So it gave that moment for LNG to find more kills on towards Ale. And sorry, before you visit Chachi, welcome back to the main stage. And You're getting beaten across.
Yeah, this is quite the debut. Vizicachi had to TP back into this top side because he was going to lose far too much. Ale unafraid, knowing that he's doing so damn much. We can have a look now, the live view. Look at the goal difference already. It's just Ale all the way to the bank.
Yeah, and like, yes, Gangplank can kind of work off of some lower economy because of his passive, but this is ridiculous. This Gangplank so far behind, and again, we were saying, hey, look, Ale, this Fiora's come into meta for a reason. She's insanely strong in side lanes, can have some impacts in team fights as well, and when you're this far ahead with both turret plates taken on top side as well, this Fiora is going to be massive in this mid game.
And we're going to see Tarzan get spotted out on a ward and just use Iwandi, who has now hit his level 6 as well. Oh, sorry, excuse me, he's still on level 5, so still waiting for the solar flares. We can see there Tali just getting pushed back by Icon, but now when you're getting a couple of levels into the Winds of War, you should be able to take down these minion waves, but not without a little bit of punishment from Icon.
Yeah, at least Tali now more situated in the mid lane, so might be able to help out himself, or help out Vizicachi if we see more plays topside, because honestly I wouldn't be surprised to see Tarzan like clear bot side, go back up top, look to try and dive again, especially 8 minutes now on the board. You got Rift Herald, you can try and take up that top side as well. LNG will be definitely looking to snowball the advantage they have on LA.
Well, we see already both supports just roaming in saying, all right, calm down. Nothing needs to go down right now, as we can see Bapip now starting up the Rift Herald. So going to get that one sneakily set up. There are a lot of people on this top side. The one big thing, though, is Light has not and Violet has.
Yeah, I think Light now should be able to push in. Chances are, like you usually see around this, you have red-white on your guns, so can try and take the terror. But Bapip kind of secretly taking that meant that he was in a pretty good spot. But Light taking this incredibly so, not trying to push the wave and answer for the turret plates on bot side, which honestly I think is a bit of a mistake from LNG.
A little bit of a misstep there, LNG, that they take a slower tempo game. We saw it against Hanwha Light earlier today, and they're not really that worried about it. They're Grand just picking up a couple of extra bits of CS for Light, and Ale knows that he's totally fine in this top side. And this wave's actually in a pretty terrible state. If Ale wanted to freeze it, he could, but he's not going to. He's going to push it immediately. Yeah, I'm
keeping my eyes on where Iwanzi is, because look at where he's roaming right now. He's going to be moving straight up towards this top side, right as we get this full push coming in into the mid lane as well. You're also going to have Icon, who's also pushed in that mid wave. This is going to be dive number 3 for Vizicachi, and I am so sorry, buddy. This is not looking good for you.
He has to give up all of this wave. He's going to use the Cannon Barrage. That's a global team fight tool they've had to use to suck up this wave. He will not lose the tower just yet. And get himself out. They didn't even need Iwani towards the top side. I think they recognize he's got a Cannon Barrage. We just burn that. We try again in a minute or so.
Yeah, the second Chachi stopped showing in the wave. He's reset. We're just going to try and push in instead. And you're still denying a lot of that CS to Chachi anyway. So the big win. Now, again, they don't have access to Rift Herald, but I mean, they can still look to try and answer for the plays on top side. Babip, spotted on a great ward by Alwandi, means that they will be aware of where the piece jungler is.
Interesting. Level 6 is being picked up now. You do not have access to the Cannon Barrage, but Deathmark, the hero's entrance, and of course the curse of the sad bullet time. They landed. They're going to go in, and the AoE is good. Violet will pick himself up the kill and the first blood for the OCE region.
Nicely done by Aladoric, managing to just pick off Tarzan and knowing, hey, look, the jungler's just going to stay exactly where he is on LNG's side. They throw everything in the kitchen sink and pick off Tarzan. Gets a bit of control back, gets a bit of respite in this mid lane, but now you got to return back to the bot side to make sure that this Aphelios isn't just farming himself up towards that Immortal Shield Bow.
You don't want the 200 years too early. You know, it could be a little quick. You'd be surprised how quick 200 years happens in this game, but Aphelios is just pushing in this one here, has got the red and green, so she'll be able to harass and just sustain pretty nicely with the Severum and the Calibrum. So let's see, have a look at the replay here, and again, it's just a great opportunistic kill for the side of Peace.
Yeah, and for LNG, you knew that Babip was here, right? So that's why we saw Tarzan hovering around in the jungle here. Just not expecting Peace to full commit with Babip there, and sorry, with Aladoric and Babip, so they managed to catch him off. So really nice play from Peace, and finding these moments to claw windows back into the game.
Oh, tower going down at 11 minutes. He has to play just keep in and out of, you know, safety right now to try and get something back into this, because he's a core drinker.
Yeah, and the problem was that like the one moment you had from Tally to try and help him out, right?
Okay na.
Tally had actually pat down with
Okay na.
bot side to pick up that dragon. So now it's just a 1v1
Ano, wala,
under
like,
control.
Atra.
Ale is the one that's taking the driver's seat there. So now for LNG, you've got a ton of pressure. They're going to move Ale back up towards mid, but you can start to get a ton of wards in onto this top side, look to start creating more pressure, and especially like, you know, next Rift Tower that's going to come up, well, that's going to be a bit of a pressure point that LNG can look to exploit.
Yeah, that is a 2,000 gold lead, almost the entirety of the gold lead, to be perfectly honest, on that top side. And now you do still have opportunities here for Peace. It is not dead and buried, but Fiora is going to be a constant sticking point, which means that you need to be proactive, you need to be the ones looking for the plays, and you need to try and get use out of your massive wombo combo. Moonlight Vigil goes down, it's just going to be a little bit of harass, so that the side of LNG and Light can keep pushing in, and oh, Aladoric actually alright to try and take this trade. It's 4v2 right now, Babbitt is there, Lonnie not sure if go in or out, but now Icon's there. Oh, great flash there to keep himself alive.
Yeah, and you can see, look, LNG has pressure points. He's rotating down to cover mid, so if Tally moves to try and play a bot side, LNG is still going to have pressure in the mid lane. They're even stealing away camps here as Ale, so Rift have gone down in response, but it's never going to get a charge here.
I mean, no way you can actually go for this one right now. They haven't got a flash on the Amumus. There's no real kind of flash bandits touching me, so sadly, Shelly will not be bonking her head. It's her favorite thing in the world. She doesn't get to do it, and that's just a bit of a, you know what, LNG, that's just not, that's rude. It's very rude, you know, let people be happy.
Yeah, one job, she loves it, and you just deny it from her.
Just deny it at all times. But now Tarzan going to keep Bapip away, and this is where Tarzan is just very, very good at just knowing the limits of his champion, and with Aladoric having to come down here now, they're just trying to defend their own base.
Yeah. Aladoric gets the engage on I1D though.
Oh, okay, he's used the bullet time as well. Or not the bullet time, excuse me, the cannon barrage alongside the Curse of the Sad Mummy, and they try to go in now with the heroic entrance, try and keep Aladoric alive, but he's dead. Ale with his third kill. Now they can keep pushing forward. Tarzan flashes away, and we can see maybe if Tally goes down. There's a bullet time, but it's a double kill.
Hello,
Ale
Trash, my
flashing forward,
friend.
not quite able to get it, and he will fall down to the turret. He got a little greedy, and he got punished, but even then, we're still continuing on. LNG want these kills. I don't think they're going to get them.
No, they'll end up backing away. Peace will run for the hills. Chachi clearing out that bot wave. Will manage to keep himself safe since he's got that wave clear, but LNG getting aggressive of 4 kills now for Ale.
Hello, Fresh, my friend.
Monstrous.
Absolutely ridiculous. You don't even get anything. You're losing in the top wave, you're losing the mid, but let's have a look at this, because Aladoric just goes in, he invests everything onto I1D.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a match, right? The second he goes in, you get the TP coming through. Ale, you're already pushed in fully that top side, so everyone LNG comes in. Fortunate for Aladoric, Ale got given the CC. Tally, good jump in from Ale to deny the escape.
alternate nga lang para
They're just running from the hills.
Ano?
It's just
Para ayos yun,
overextension.
Karang maski mas slow lang ng kalaban.
It's kind of crazy if he gets that kill onto the Z on the back end.
Dupulog lang para to, mas slow.
Gets the triumph, gets himself back out and able to sustain, so very close fight.
So, pares kay kon man Oriana magbutang og kaning katong bunag bola niya.
Becoming harder and harder for the butt. I will say,
Oh, nga to gani.
Nga to, press. Mas slow ang laban.
Get those combinations going. I feel like if you're just a little bit
Game yun dyan si Jenna.
Find a better opportunity. And that's basically what they have to do here, right? Chachi, unfortunately, has just... This is ballooned completely out of control. Like, as you can see, 3,000 gold in this matchup. So you basically need to go, right, we need to find a moment where Chachi can push out a wave, and let's just all-in collapse on mid. Let's try and find this moment where Aladoric can set up with Violet and get this combo that we're working off of. Otherwise, it's going to be this slow bleed that we're seeing, right? Ale disappearing into the fog of war, taking away all your camps, constantly hovering mid to make sure that Peace are always under threat, and well, Chachi, if he ever steps up, will find himself at the end of the point of that sword.
He's full, almost full item behind at this stage. We can now see the first death mark, and boop! That's not what's going to happen to the Z. That's supposed to happen to the target.
But I mean, look at the ward control, right? Like, you're not even spotting where LNG are right now. They've got deep wards on top side. You've got full control bot side for Ale as he's just cleared out all the wards with the sweeper he has. Peace have no idea where LNG are, and LNG are being able to play at 1-3-1 and having Tarzan use the terrain scaling that Kiana offers to catch out Peace.
Yeah, you can see the gold difference over time going ever so quickly in the favor of LNG, and now we can see Tally just cannot do anything in this top side. He's going to have so many issues coming into this one, and the Galio isn't built to try and 1v1 it, but I don't want to hear about what you talk about. I want to hear about what everyone else is talking about. We have a look at the hashtag Verizon 5G all chat from Tom Sonic. He says, what do you mean there is no meta? See, this is the analysis.
Ayun na.
Meta is a state of mind. It's
It's all illusion. What is time?
Bawag restart yata.
Let's jump back into the game because it's about time for a dragon fight to happen.
Itanggal mo. Ang sama na.
Have you got a piece? Like 6k go behind.
Internet
You
nga tanggalon.
haven't really got full control of the air. You can see Aladoric might even be cut out.
Test mo siguro tanaw daw.
Ooh, okay, they get the solar flare out of it. I want to be going a little deep here, and they're actually going to be able to get the stopwatch.
Threshold.
Ooh, Tarzan's a big boy, and that's going to be a lot of damage. Bappet goes in, but immediately has to try and get himself back out. Tarzan trying to see if he can find a little bit more kills. There's going to be the bullet time to try and dissuade him from that little corridor. But the end of it all, LNG are not deterred. LNG are not afraid.
Bot. Manan tao.
Trying to keep themselves
Let's go. Basta gosh, yung 2,000.
Violet gonna have to back away from this turret right now, or he's dead to you. And that's gonna be Icon still going for it. He's catching him in the shot. Didn't look at his sides, and that's another quick kill. Turret goes down, and Icon. He's just playing.
Kaya tinapos yung grab mo.
Tapta.
He can go in, out, left, right. He's got light.
Ha?
Tapta.
Ay, tapta.
He eventually falls down. Good barrel coming out from Peace, but it's a
Tulo sila.
consolation prize.
Yeah, because you've got
Danny.
pushing bot side for Ale. You've got Tarzan who's taking the dragon at the same point in time as well. LNG are just playing out the map beautifully, and here comes the dive.
Ale was not a part of the
Wait lang. Naglag ko gamay.
challenge, and
Saka.
even with the
Lag
flash
lang ka.
over the wall, nothing you can.
Yeah, I don't know why.
This is statements from LNG.
Ano
and
ba?
certainly
Balik
from Ali. Like 2 games in a row now, he has set himself up as the big carry. Jack's game number 1, Fiora now game number 2. We haven't even seen his Camille, but she's famous for in the LPL as most played champion
Gawa
of
mo
all
yung Bexu.
time. It looks like LNG have kind of taken on a new lease
Ay,
of life
Ringer din na. Gago.
at the World Championship.
Icon gonna find Tommy, who did
Woo!
try to go into the train. Get about half the health
Ringer
of
din.
Icon. There was a couple of minions
Sabi nung kalaba ay kauban Ringer.
looking to try and maybe work something out.
Grabe, wak palaban nga ringar.
You've got to
works.
find these opportunities. You've got to try and find look for these those
Take two,
opportune
take two.
moments to look for something, but LeBlanc's just not the target.
Yeah, I mean, far too slippery.
Lag pa yung dito timing kay dugay kinakapamang chiyo ng pang champion.
They're starting to rotate towards top.
Kung pag ano nyo, pag hook nyo mo ba?
This is where it becomes so difficult for Peace to
Taka
contest
kadali.
these waves, right? You've got full control on this top side for LNG. Might even find a Samumu, but not quite able to get to him in time. You've got full control on
Ay,
one side as well. You look
minions.
at vision control. So if Chachi ever shows in this wave, Ali
Ah! Gago ka.
Lights just exactly what you're talking about. They're just going to try and barrel off towards this top side as a 5-man unit. You got the gangplank there. Bappet's nowhere near this. This is like 5v4 at best for the side of Peace. And they just got to back themselves away. They're trying to get Violet back into it, but yes, the both of them.
Baka na kung boot, kitra na kayo movement. Bukro na to ng ano.
This is kind of violent
Mike.
against violence. It's not a safe space for anywhere in time.
Si
for
Bex,
this AD
Bet
carry to
Rob.
be. I mean, between Tarzan, Ale, every push, every
Puro lang po yun.
No, he was
Don't do it. And I didn't realize that.
OG kay Kano.
OJ, kayo. Sumuka, sumuka.
If you're looking at Luden's Tempest, you've got the
Ay, dalag-lag, mangkoy.
Paano mga Ringer? Ito rin Ringer din.
be on his own just to survive. You have, of course, the Ravenous Hydra and the Gore Drinker, like you mentioned for Ale. You're just so far behind them with red, white. Let's fight.
Saka kagil siya, saka naog.
Yan
Ang
mo.
200 nyo, normal thing. Abot lang. Saan ko yung download?
Sa prank.
Siguro ba itong pag-restart niyo, damay ko. Balik ng kabuuan sa internet.
Kalit-kalit lang po ba yate kayo?
That gold lead that was 4,000, 5,000, now 9,000 gold for LNG, and we haven't even hit Baron potential.
Lag ko, oh shit, pili mo lihok.
Just yet. It's only just spawned.
Ang low eh.
Restart na yan.
Pretty dire right now. It's not over, but my God, it's going to take.
Wala no ng mga viewers yate
to
kayo.
really bring this one back. They have the tools. Whether or not LNG
Next time, guy.
Oh.
use them is the big question.
I mean, you can even look at the builds from LNG and just know they're smelling blood in the water, right? You get the Cosmic Drive coming through from LeBlanc, definitely something that spikes super hard off of 2 items. You get that early little bit of ability power, so definitely looking to try and end now. You look at the Collector as well, picked up by Light. Understanding, look, there's not a hope in hell this game's going past 26, 27.
5-level difference.
Nice.
As Fiora. So there we go. We're going in.
Hey.
Completely whiffed. That's going to be the bullet time coming in.
Nice.
Trade back to Kiana. I want in a lot of trouble as well. And that's
Na, ana.
trying to get to They go back.
Ay.
He dies as light flashes away. He is a small
Ay, namatay na dito.
Talk about why the Wombo
Ganas yung naglam, mag-ipilig sa Flood Tower.
Try to dive too deep, don't get onto the key carries, and
Yeah,
it is an opportunity for Peace to get something, but now again,
Dito, all mo na ano, ang singer, para, dakpan. Matulog ka muna.
Kung kabalokin sa ilang mga akong gipili nga, gipik ba? Nagkuha na ka, nag-pick M na ka.
Ang giping pick na kay mga sa right side.
Right side.
Okay, okay lagi sa mga sa team.
Ako po gani, gago. Tanaw na lang gani ko. Tanaw ko karon.
Tayo na rin ka.
Oh.
you're very quickly dwindling in the number of terrors that you have less here.
Ay, naglag ko!
Ay, dagan.
Gone, and we get a replay here.
Puto 1,000.
Ibataw man ako sa kilid sa stream para mura pag nagtanaw ang viewers.
Which doesn't really do anything. And
Oh,
it just
kaya,
sets really strong
binuan.
versus the bullet time.
Sige, tira ba pagkabot?
We were talking about how potent it could be, but
Pero may, ay,
too late.
It is too little, and that was with two ultimates missing, the Moonlight Vigil and the Solar Flare. The Moon and the Sun were not involved in that team fight, but it did
laan na yung account eh.
because LNG is just so far ahead. It is a little bit of respite for Peace. It is a little bit of a moment where they can maybe
Pila yung
get a
pingron?
goal back into them. You now have two items on His Fortune, so
Normal raman.
still in line.
Saka di siya gihagan eh. Random saka.
Ano, flash lagi to ay.
You're going to need a little bit of a miracle if you want to try
Bug.
to extend this game.
Ay, feel pa rin yun.
It's not just
Saka na sa dumping.
Ale has completely crashed and burned in a
Restart na yun.
Naka-officead.
the gangplank Sudley's Chachi has
Gabi man ron, ganun, kuhaan mo kayo ba? Nag-
That's so far from
Gabi, sa gabi ikaw, muhina yung net na mo.
Further as well as Alador.
Baliktad, buntag kay normal, kusog tayo.
Pat adlaw ang kuan. Wala na, grab na ako, gago.
It was on the Amumu.
Ah, gosh, yung nilag na sa gamay.
Wala.
Himself up and gets over online. And now Icon going for the These health bars are low, but I will admit LNG are kind of scuffing the execution.
Nahook na ako.
Yan.
Guys, yung
playing with their food a little bit here. Like everything has been super clean. They have full control, and they're just like, look, we are very much aware of how far ahead we are. So let's just try and force the issue close. It is giving opportunities for Peace to look for the comeback.
Tradaw, trigaw.
Journey towards the box. Not a very fast Baron right now. The guns are pretty not great. They're pretty meh. It's probably a better way to put it. But
Ay, atin, lag
you
ko.
can start it and then move straight back out to try and maybe catch somebody out. You're pushing in that mid lane, so you have not got the pressure.
bug.
He's already got Red trying to TP in with
Ala ka, big na, big ko. Ah, namatay ko.
the taunt going down onto Icon.
Wala, wala.
Not quite deleted, but it's the guy
Di ko muli daw, di ko muli. Lato na ko na yung flash.
Tara.
Paras!
Ay, gosh.
Yaman.
Lugayan ako nakapak eh.
Ay!
Ay!
I mean, they've got the wave, they've got everything. Who needs a Baron when you can take the entire lead? Ace,
Ay, yata.
24 minutes. Track up the base of Peace.
Sunod-sunod ang abot mo.
onto 2-0. They will cement themselves atop the table.
Nag-jungle man natong ano, wukong.
Very, very happy as they come out on top in the first day of LPL, excuse me, Worlds 2021.
Bias
Naglag na sa dito.
We got him, ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Gusto na.
I mean, a great game. It was a great game. Phenomenal game from LNG. Sad for the LCO representatives, though. Peace, unfortunately, just couldn't find a way into the game. We've got Ale.
Uy,
Bug,
di ko
purot.
Top side of Fiora. Full control coming up at Tarzan.
Pukit na ba yate?
From that, they just get pressure on business
Hindi mo kasabot gani. Ikamot sila na kwato.
without much attention.
Gago na urot niya.
Nakamatay dito lang.
Urot niya yung tuloy.
LNG were throwing towards
Yeah, honestly, I think LNG were just
Dala ulit sa pa.
Advantage kay kang basta lag day.
Advantage mo yun. Ay, ako naglag ato guys.
She just never let them play with
Ay,
their
ka naglagat.
Nalibog lang ako kaya flash mo dito niya. Ako pala tinitabo.
the
It's a prank lang pala.
the moments where we could potentially see
Kaya ito sa baba, kulatawa na sunod na tundo.
and LNG just never did.
Wala, naglag ko.
Playing through Ale, right? We thought, okay, you've got a
Wala
big
na.
lead on
Ay,
Ale.
ate.
Maybe they look to try and find some
Ay, ate.
minutes, but instead they just gave over that rift guard to Bandit. We're like, cool, as long as we don't play into this big
Pagragas.
we don't have to worry about it then. And they were just able to play it through the sidelines.
All right, let's take another look.
Lo, 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 bug.
LNG's game-ending
Sugatag
fight,
baboy.
and they TP the LeBlanc in. They just catch them on all sides.
Yeah, this was beautiful. I mean, Ale's already cut off his Chachi. You've now got Icon who's coming in on the backside of the fight as well. And look at the damage that comes through between the assassins.
Wala ko na ho, na-in.
Tarzan, Icon,
Ala, patay si Jinx, oy.
I just feel sorry for Tali. He was like, I'm regretting my decisions.
It's like when you kick over the door, it's like,
Dexy.
surprise! He's like, where is everyone? I'm
Bexy
in the wrong
Bepurabi.
This isn't the surprise party we set up, but
Nakuha na lang
honestly,
dito.
expected result, to be perfectly honest. I think Peace coming in were definitely a bit more of an unknown. LNG coming out with the win, though, was very much expected, and they did what they needed to do.
Yeah, I think the
Tawa pa ako eh.
Ito
I
Kita na sa agagot.
wanted to see a little bit more from them until they find the fight.
Ring live good.
Yeah, well, during the
Buguan
celebratory
ng
song
bot,
break,
oy.
you can listen to Burn It All Down, the
Ganun,
2024
ganun.
World's
Tabang-
Anthem
tabang
on the
natin.
official League of Legends playlist on Spotify. After that, we'll be back to break down LNG's 2-0 starts. Do not go anywhere.
They say where the legends come.
Ay! Kaya king Gragas.
Ah! Katuyang iba, OP man kahit oy. Sa mamak, naging level na, nagahin na kayo na.
Pero laro yung maning ko ano eh, Jinx. Diri man siya sa bot. Bangan gani.
Gani. Puta na ng wukong na to. Sige, tuyo. Wala, naguba ng tower. Ah! Pataya na ako, oy. I'm dead. Kitawag ako.
Pag ikaw mag-jump, ikaw
Hello,
patay.
Patay.
Ikaw patay. Kuhan lang ka mag-warmogs, warmogs.
Hindi ko nag-warm up sa'yo guys. Yung movement kita ko ang damage.
Ay, ate.
Pero, ako ni Gragas, mulbiwan ako ng pangalan.
Ikaw hapak. Ikaw hapak. Ay, ate, ignite.
Sige, maligdikit ang duha oh. Panigog ko.
Banon ti karon. Matay pa mo ko. Na, duklap. Ay, isa. Sibat.
Sibat. Ako siya. Lang, 4 seconds, 4 seconds.
Baka.
Ay,
Mid, oh.
Lang, top day oh. Ay, ang mid eh. Nag-post na sila eh.
Uy, gago. Iwa sa sikan, di may go akong skill.
Poster man sila.
Gago, 7 akong dates.
So, dahil ano, kamanda ni Wukong, pareman mo.
Pakapakon.
Tara. Sig uban yung duha ba oh? Dragas o Sona. Ito ko lang sulat ako.
Tro. Ate, o kabot. Nakadulong zona.
At yung siya, higil ako ng Gragas ba?
Yan dyan na nila eh.
I'm joined by Tarzan after LNG is 2-0 now in the playing stage. 안녕하세요. Thank you very much for joining me. I want to talk about your journey
Ako na
in the
system.
field because in a recent interview with Ashley
Ilang patay
you
ang bot.
mentioned that in the beginning you were struggling a bit with communication. So how much did it improve since then? And how confident do you feel with the team right now?
Anak ko'y Mercury Drugstore. Ay, di na. Mercury
정말 감사드리고 지금
Dala mo na. Bigat ba kayo na?
어려웠던 점이 있다고 말씀하셨는데 어느 정도로 나아졌는지 어느 정도로 자신 있는지
Palit lang ako, palit.
지금 일단 게임
Palitin mo
Yo,
Mercury
what
Drugstore.
편하게 소통할 수 있는 것 같고 이제 일상생활 속에서는
Mercury Drugstore.
듣는 거는 이제 어느 정도
맞아요?
느낌으로 받을 수 있는데 아직 말하는 건 조금 어색한 것 같아요.
The rapid fire.
I'm pretty sure I can comfortably communicate with my teammates, but in real life,
Lang, defend ko.
I'm pretty getting the sense of Chinese in real life listening.
Back row ng back. Buang ka.
A little bit still awkward, little bit.
Oh, well, I hope you can get there
Yeah,
sometime and get the level you want in Chinese. Now, focusing a bit more about World Championship and talking about the game you had against Hanwha Life Esports, I know you were looking forward to facing up against Chovy again. So, how was it to go against him earlier today? And how much do you think he
Pwede
changed as a
makamag-view lang
player
mo.
since the Griffin days?
네, 그러면 오늘 앞서 있었던 하나전에 대해서도 여쭤보고 싶은데 하나생명의
미션
초비 선수를 만나는 게 더 많이 그래야 됐을 거라고 생각이
Lisod
들고
magbuhat. Count ano.
비교했을 때는 어떤 식으로 변한
Lisod
거예요?
magbuhat. Count ano.
그냥 적 상대한다는 생각으로 초비
어.
상대했고 그냥
Tara.
그리핀 때보다 좀 원래는 제가 더 키가 컸었는데
DR.
갑자기 급성장한 것
Supporta
같아요.
man na. Ano talaga?
In fact, when I was playing the game, I just started to think him as one of the opponents. And compared to his Griffin days,
Na kay account ni makapalo ko.
now I think he's got the wild growth and he's much taller.
Kana imong gibuhat.
Talking about the LCK, because you mentioned them as opponents, what do you think of the region, the LCK itself since you left? And yeah, how does it compare to the LPL now that you joined the team LNG?
그러면 또 이제 LCK에 대한 의견을 또 여쭤보고
오케이.
싶은데 LCK에서
Kaya,
이적하신
ayan. Uwi na sila.
Ay!
Hala! Grabe ang fear.
Nasa gunso na kong patay yate.
분위기 환자? 좀 환경도 바뀌어가지고 좀 적응하면서 다시 처음부터 한다는 생각으로
Ang Jinx lang pinakadong bet.
했던 것 같아요.
그러면 LCK
Patikat kay Gragas.
어떻게 변했다고 생각하세요?
LCK에 비해
Opik yung Gragas sa Earthly gas.
Kaya king bot.
이적하신 뒤 어떤 식으로 좀 변한 것 같은지.
그냥 똑같은 것 같아요. 생활하는 거는 LCK나 LPL이나 언어만 다르지 나머지는 다 똑같은
Bawi
것
nung
같아요.
kalay na ito.
LCK and LPL are actually pretty similar.
After mag-assist ang Jinx,
Lifestyle is very similar. It's just
Miss,
the difference
miss.
of the language. And so I just focused myself. I just wanted to get some kind of momentum shift as I was heading into China. And I tried my best to, always work hard.
Nice.
Keep on grinding and stuff like that.
Well, this hard work shows so far, Tarzan. 감사합니다 for the interview. And Jisan, thank you so
gulat ang
much for
tap.
the translation. And back to you guys.
Kulat ang tap.
wala yung sila ng uli, oh. Ay,
Ba-
nawala. Bantag na yung uli rin sila.
Thank you so much, Lore. Fantastic interview, and Jason, of course, for the interpretation as well. And welcome back to the Safe Farm Analyst Desk. LNG so far 2-0.
AP man sila tanan sa 8. Ada day. Ikot ka rin nga.
Top spot in Group A. So I think it's time to kind of look at what we take from what we had as pre-tournament expectations from LNG and what they have shown so far. A TLDR for the viewers who maybe missed the pre-show. They made an incredible
Support
run
kay AP.
throughout the regional finals to
Ay, support
make
lang
it
isa din.
here. Emily, let's take stock of what we've seen.
BR ang ano?
Personally, been very surprised by what Ale has showed on day one.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because
Yeah,
the
ang
way
back
that
ron.
they played around Ale is actually
Ang backron, ang backron.
and the fact
Wala,
that
good siya, good.
in
Ako yung target.
the last game we saw him blind pick Fiora. He had
Ah.
one of the lower counter pick rates of a lot of top winners throughout.
Yeah,
And then also
Agad ka sa
I think it's interesting. It also just kind of reflects
mga AP, dili ko na. Uli na ko.
sometimes they really like to stick to exactly what they
Nakitag
want
first
to do.
Nanay kay BR, gago.
Pick order doesn't matter as much to them.
Kay nagano man ang ano to, Reinhardt. Solo.
Gago na walang life.
Facilitated him so well, and as soon as he
Bug,
had that
kitay.
lead, he just
Ano, matay niya.
with it. And this is what you can expect from him, especially in matchups that where
Little
he's
bit.
really comfortable in the 1v1. If he does get any sort of help, he will be able to snowball that newspaper.
And the expectation is
Ikaw na
that
lang
the
bagay.
champion will usually
Got
most
Jen.
of them be able to feel Jax, Fiora, even the Kennen. It's 5-0 and not actually as much as
Feeling
a
it, kaya nga
popular
to.
pick in the LPL. We're gonna see a lot of this top laner.
Walang
I think
base.
when you think of
Wala
LNG,
ako, bala.
you think about jungle
But-
mid.
Kasi na,
So it's
up
nice
sa
to see that they've shown
BR.
us, you know what? No,
Ako rin, ah.
to that top lane just as
Bro,
much.
ikaw rin yata.
Talk to me about Tarzan. 2 games on Kiana.
Ay, dili na. Siya ng wukong, oh.
Gagawan nito na akong kuan ba,
I
minions.
think he is a lot happier after this Kiana game. I think
Sila yung crit,
in the
mo
first
regalo.
game, Angel
60
Lee
ka.
did
Sige rin, kunita daw.
probably
Tara.
Ano?
what he wanted to do. They were a little bit slower to some of the
Bug,
plays
bug.
that he was trying to, for example,
Bug.
and help them take that. There was a little
Sara ka kuan, makapak.
Kuya,
Yaw.
but I think with this game, obviously, they were able to
Tara, gragas na, gragas.
on
Dahil
the
kang gragas.
outside plays.
Malit game
They
lagi
did
niya.
a really good job of tracking the Zed, which is super
Kaya daw,
Bug, bug.
Ah, yung gakuha ko, eh.
situation. Tarzan had such control of this he was ahead.
Ay, nawala man.
Dapat nag-oracle di ko dahil.
Balik mid, balik.
Efficiency and how much time. Like
Teka,
the
balik
biggest
ka,
thing
baka
for a
walang
jungler
trading
for me
bits.
is how efficient they are.
Ay, si
What
ano,
do they
Reyna,
do with their
Reyna.
time in the early game, right? And he was incredibly efficient in this game in terms of snowballing top hitter,
Bug.
still being head and CS at certain points.
Tara, baka po na to. Tara.
Wouldn't have if he'd been tested a little bit more. So, I mean, he can do it all. And the thing I really liked about this game is that it showed communication with his lanes. But obviously, he can also take a more like hard carry role as well. So you can see him flex onto different jungle picks and see that.
Ah, wala.
Ay, ako juga makan.
At the year for Tarzan, it was first or it was
Urot na naman ta.
jungle carry. Then he
Kaya
really
guardian
into,
ako.
he needed a bit of adjustment time, but then into okay, I'll play for my laners. But now we're back in a
Panay
meta
ko kanina.
where
Yung
he can go on the
ba?
Kiara, right? He can do basically all the
Ay, magano na lang di ko.
I don't want to disrespect peace at all. This did look like a more
Mortius.
comfortable game for LNG. I think we can take the
18
most
din
stock
sila.
out of the opening game they played versus
Lalagyan, yan, lagod nila.
Because we're not just looking at LNG in the context as a play-ins. Of course, they have to make it past it. But I think when you're looking at LNG, you're always
Patay. Manumbag din ko ano, manumbag.
led so far with a 2-game set.
Lagi tang lagod niyo. Yan na daw.
So LNG are still about where I'd put them.
Dali.
Do you think the 3 other LPL teams
Gi-enjoy yan.
LPL teams typically when they go to Worlds is that they have very distinctly different playstyles.
Okay, mabot sila god. Wala sila mapildi sila.
The top teams. And then with
Kaya nga,
LNG,
sorry.
their
Mali,
strengths
ulit.
and weaknesses are still radically different, but I do think they're behind on
Siya na mali kung honor gaw.
we still kind of saw it
Bilang.
in the Hanwha game where Hanwha was able to
Click na ko rin ano.
the things like
Wukong na to.
timing
Tampad
and
man yun.
communication that Tarzan
Tampad
had.
ng
Like, he
gunugod,
did
guys.
another broadcaster review where he
Abe,
said,
magumboy ko gaw.
the Chinese broadcast where he was like, you know, that wasn't the game that we really did want to
Ewan,
have.
nag-click ko, nag-crash
There's
yung
still
click.
a lot of room for improvement, so
Kaya
I'll be
sorry,
curious to
Wukong
see how
click
their
mo.
jungle to lane communication, if it does continue to improve throughout this tournament, because I think that will be really important, especially
Switch,
since
switch,
he's a
mana?
type of player who can be so flexible in how he plays that jungle.
No, absolutely. And I'm just really excited to see the growth of this team because I think they've grown so tremendously throughout just the sheer amount of games they played
Ito na.
in the championship, in the playoffs rather, as well as in the regional finals. So the potential is definitely there. We'll see what happens. And we have one more Group A matchup in store today as Hanwha Life and Infinity return to the stage in our next game. Don't miss it.
Uy. Ay, may nga, uy, gasyong. Di alam ko, dali na, nadadayon.
Oh, kung ka nag-ingon.
Alam, nagihiram ko.
Dali ra kayo mo start ba yati kayo.
Gani. Flash, gapon nagaw.
Oh. Nalingaw ako kapak-kapak.
So, may gamitin ako sa mali.
Ang kartos nung pili yaman. Kartos gumiban.
Anda mo ban?
Anda mo ban.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Right man imong gipili tanan no.
Ako?
Oo.
Diyan gipili.
Mga sa right imong gipang pili.
Tanan.
Gago. Tama imong tanan gago. Ang duha. Tama ang duha.
Kayang dua?
Oo.
Wala day. Ano, Mat?
Game.
Anay.
Oh, next game na.
Gasyong.
Oh. Oh. Ano ang isa ko?
Make or break. Make it yours.
Welcome back, one and all. Did you miss us? We are back for the fourth game of the day. I am Penguin, he is Dagda, and we're going to be bringing you our last game of the day, but we're quickly coming up to the halfway point of day one.
I know, it's been absolutely nuts.
Where did the time go?
It's been very quick games and very exciting games as well. So I'm excited to see now if Hanwha Life kind of live up to that as they go up against Infinity Esports, the LLA representative.
Yeah, both teams coming off
There you go.
their first win, or first game, excuse me, and they're looking for their first win. And we got to say that yes, Hanwha Life are in fact favored in this, but you can never count out the play-ins teams. We've seen it time and time again. They have a little spice.
Yeah, especially when you're looking towards like Infinity Esports as well, like a team that is very aggressive in the early stages. And, I mean, Hanwha can struggle when they
Good na gani.
so if Infinity
Tara, bota.
Esports can make those early plays stick, maybe they can make it work, but unfortunately they couldn't find that success against Red Cannons, and now Hanwha Life, they're going up against one of the play-ins favorites.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to make an upset if Hanwha Life can get their play-ins tournament back on track. We are jumping straight into picks and bans. Cody should not get into LeBlanc pretty much the entirety of the play-in stage. He's going to be banned against him constantly, as we do see the Aurelia banned away from Morgan and Chovy, and of course the Lucian, which we saw in
Let's kill you, Joe.
Lucian incredibly strong for White Lotus, and we're starting to see that adaptation, right?
Nice.
LeBlanc, so
Ay, mag-8 yung MF daw.
LeBlanc now the
Bakit yung kayo niya mag-clash sa dilagtan.
big things for the Zoe ban kind of indicates that you want to play Rise.
Mukha na yan, slow.
Playing this Zoe into the Rise, trying to keep the lane, have
I
decent
feel
victory
you.
against it. So maybe Hanwha want to try and go that and look for the Rise for Chovy, but I mean, you're already looking at Aurelia and Trindamere, two of the big picks that we saw Hanwha get success in the early stages in their game against LNG.
Ah, expired.
as well. Solid Snakes, Jarvan gets banned away, and now Infinity have themselves one last ban before we go into the picks of this round. Honestly, they could keep going Chovy, but the man has a champion Ocean. He can play pretty much anything we see today's first game. He has 22 unique champions between Nazar, Summer, and now.
It's kind of insane how much
Lisod mo nun, tanda daw.
Brace mong good.
One or two
Lubag ng ulo na niya.
Camille Renekton for Morgan, but Renekton
Talaga, siya nga, good go.
Camille's gone now as well, so it will be the Lee Sin locked in here, more than likely going towards winner in the jungle.
What?
We still
Dulo ka,
see
duha ka na.
ability towards the Blues.
Yep, absolutely could be flexed into either top or mid if they see the matchup fitting for it. Now
okay,
Infinity
sila.
got an opportunity here to see what you want to go for.
Okay, walang...
Easy on the board, still plenty of options to
Kaya lang, boots ako kay para makakapit dito.
Yeah, and that's where my kind of curiosity comes in here, right? Because we obviously got the big power picks in the jungle, like the Kiana has seen a lot of play. We got a little bit of the Zed, but there's still a huge amount of those picks that you can go towards. But I mean, pretty bog standard here, at least from what we're starting to see, is that Miss Fortune coming in on the red side, and it's going to be paired once more.
May Rengar.
Stat full of time, but potentially going on again and again. We saw the pace in the last game. It is incredibly powerful when you find those opportunities.
Ano si Gambak makaha ha ha. Ano si Gambak makaha ha.
It's gotta be the Ezreal and the Lee Sin. They are so good at just jumping themselves away.
Ha ha. Ano si Gambak makaha.
Away from that with this right jet. bot lane, just to look to the roam,
Nah.
try and unlock
Nah.
Chovy, try and see if they can make
Nah.
some plays happen in those
Nah,
roams.
gra.
And
Nah.
Infinity can try and play through this strong bot side. So I think definitely trying to play away from the bot lane would be the game plan here for Hanwha. As Infinity, they've just locked in the Xin Zhao. Strong early game jungler once more for Solid Snake, and this is
Kena! Sige, kena!
interact with lanes early and set themselves up for success. Another strong jungler as well for those team fights. So maybe we just all in like Bugax taking something like the Nara in the top lane and look to just take, hey, we can have decent push top, but also be a menace in team fights.
Yeah, I think the big thing I want to see from
Wala din nakabot. Kaya nga to.
the last time around we saw him against the red Canids is that it was just Solid Snake kind of on his
Ganun kasing kagambak,
Luli ato yun. Ito magambak niya, mag-ikaw na yung hook niya mo.
Yung magambak. Magambak.
Luya yun ato. Di ka po yung hook bitaw.
Puyo ha, iringa ka.
Chovy is so damn good in lane that he's going to need
kalami sa
he's
soul.
going to try and have any sort of impact on the map. So looks like you will see them try and keep that counter pick for Cody, try and help him out a little bit in that regard, but at least see what Chovy's going to have in store before they lock in.
They are just hovering right now. We'll see exactly where they want to go with this last pick. Got a couple more seconds to go, but it looks like it is going to be the top side that they lock in before they go. No, they're going to go straight for the Zoe.
Ala, yan naman ka, ay.
Yeah, one of his most late, he looks this pick.
Natin ang pakilit. Look!
Just an easy one, right? You're like, right,
Bug.
you're not gonna fall into too many issues.
Luyay gag.
Ale, tara!
Bug. Walay pulo sa imong barrier do.
Wow, good.
So Chovy might go back towards these.
Nabuhay pa siya.
Buhay ba siya?
If that's the case, I mean,
Buhay ba kayo?
Di ka mahuli.
a little bit of a
Patari mo ulit.
Ka mahuli ha. Di dito.
But again, we talked about it last time in the game.
Alam ya.
This is their comfort zone. This is what
Di
they're
ka mahuli ha.
getting those wins that they need. It's all about the slow choke out.
Lubag na sila sa boss.
Lubag ay.
One's coming out with the advantages.
and I honestly made
Parang nag-smite mo pa nilang Tristan. Ay, God.
Renekton. So as you
Buang man.
one of the two big picks that we've seen
Buang, ay, God.
playoffs was the Camille and was the Renekton. Now, Renekton
Look, lubag bag.
to a stun, right? Not giving as much time,
Ay.
making a lot more time for the junglers trying to surround Renekton.
Uy, ano ko nata?
Just the way his combo
Yate.
easier to
Bullshit man yung slow eh. Tapak.
to see how Morgan will be able to on this
Ka-flash lay ko ron.
Alam ka, Tristan na, patay ka.
Buang kasi nyo ha. Sukol ka, gago ka.
We've actually seen the Braves a lot more in the top lane. It started mid, then people are like, let's just go for a top side. When you were able to go
Lo, wadyo na ako no. Ano dami dyan?
obnoxious to deal with that top side. Really difficult for the Renekton to actually do it as well, because you can take phase rush, you can start to move around in that top lane matchup. It's very difficult to keep up as Renekton, and
Tawag ko ng ringga.
just hard to get the push. It's just constant shove, start to chip away at the turn.
Nanto dito dito.
See how he does, bringing out this great
Nag-coin ko, nag-hook ko no niya. Nag-SS ang
On
MF.
the world stage in 2021.
Wala namatay ba? Wala namatay. Sabi na kung mamatay.
Test right now for
Okay,
Infinity. I also feel like Hama Life, you can't just sit on your laurels. If that Graves gets ahead, if that Zoe's able to find those trouble bubbles and get those picks off, this could become a bit
Hey.
of a shaky game for you.
But once more, it is
Lo,
about,
lo,
like,
go.
Ah, may plastic joke.
if you don't get
Nag-look
Hindi ka
siya.
talaga plastic.
off on key targets, the game
Bug. Flash ka.
Tap ba na itong mga facelift?
See if they can find these fights at like
Wait lang.
Rift Heralds, Dragons,
May
do
Jindre.
anything you can to force Hanwha Life into fights.
Ah, nakatipin ako.
The longer this game goes on, the more we tend to lean towards the LCK fourth seed. And that is
Dahil mong number.
real. Hell, even the Lee Sin to an extent, just being able to set up so nicely is going to be such a pain for Infinity to try and deal with if they let it to just slide off to the distance.
Yeah, and that's one of the big things here. I feel like there's going to be a hell of a lot of attention on top side, right? You've got the Lee Sin Renekton set up. Let's see if we can try and play through that. But on the opposite side, you want to try and keep this Grave safe. So certainly for Infinity Esports, solid sake, I want to see some.
Ibalik na akong Glorious Darius, yo.
Then you can always look to use what
Sakada,
Ay,
matulogong
bullshit.
items dito.
pick up their own advantage.
Gago, nagtipin ako, gi. Kuha na nung ko sa MF.
We are on to the Rift, fourth game of the day here in Group A. We've started to see
Kulata may nung ko
is
dere.
going to be establishing itself towards the top.
Ay,
These
ay, ikaw ba?
games will start to rack
Oh.
up very, very quickly. You only get
Lang tipis ako dira.
Yate, patipi ha po ko, oy.
Pick up wins when you can.
And this for Hanwha would definitely be one of the games that they would want to pick.
Oh, banate ka.
Drop into LNG in what was a very,
Wala,
very
wala
close
na yung
race.
kon, bot.
They're probably going to be coming out a little bit angry. So we'll
Wala.
have to see
Wala, hindi.
taking very aggressive rune choice coming in towards mid lane, going towards that summon area. Definitely going to be looking to try and have control of this mid lane and see if he can be that factor that he was in those regional finals. Move around the map, have some sort of
So,
place
banatong ano.
on this Azir.
See if he's able to make it happen. Of course, the Shurima shuffle, if you will,
Wait.
or shuffle even, if you will, the Emperor's Divide.
Bug.
Very powerful tools for setting up the rest of your team. You can push them all into
Asan ka, boy?
Renekton, you will be feeling very, very happy with yourself. Bogax trying to be
Ang kano. Ay, ate, wala. Das blade pa more.
They're going to be able to back themselves away.
Nawala na ikaw.
Wala.
And most likely pathing towards the one.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see because
Yeah,
I feel like for Solid Snake, you want to try and play down obviously around White Lotus.
Lugi sila gano'n, kanang laning phase, pero lamang sila sa tower push.
Starting to push in the mid lane as well. But for Willer, I actually assumed he would start bot.
And then push, oh.
Up
Yeah.
side towards Morgan. But in fact, going to actually follow the pathing of Solid Snake down. And we'll have to see if he can actually
Tara,
contest.
push sa bot, yo.
See if he wants
Ito rin tower dito.
a decent early game in terms of objectives against LNG. We're able to pick up the first Dragon, first Rift Herald as well. So they know how to move around the map pretty quickly and pretty efficiently. I'm curious to see now exactly where these two jump.
Dagan.
They need to try and, as I say, put a, a stop to the gears.
Mukha na yan, slow.
Bogax, at least from the
Bug,
get-go, is doing a really
Ala.
good job, right? You spotted, hey, we had a ward on the
Yay,
red
kage,
buff, no
good
Lee
sila.
Sin,
Sorry, ay.
cool. Bogax is going to crash second wave, get a little bit of chip damage. try
Sila
and-
mo ang word, yo.
Yes,
Ay!
the bounce back should be again.
Ay, backshot.
Make sure that he's continuously keeping up the pressure. Now, Solid Snake though showing him mid against Joe.
Oh,
Yep, showing in mid. Joe will be putting down the sand.
lala. Sige, dual mo ron.
Himself all the way back, and looks like it's going to be a quick move here from Solid Snake to say, look, I'm here. You can't get anything off of Cody underneath the tower, but Morgan, I feel like he can go for
Ay,
this trade.
napost
It's
ano.
a bit dangerous to go for that one. The Graves, once he gets a little bit of distance between you, will just keep
Yeah,
you down.
And one of the things that we saw a lot was like Renekton kind of going, right, hey, I can just trade effectively. I'm always going to have control of this top side. But as we start to see the shift in the meta and things like this, Graves top have come out, you're not kind of kingpin anymore in that top lane for Renekton. So Morgan,
Word mo yun.
that he's trying to keep even here against Bogax and not over-aggressing and having Bogax win out in these trades.
Def recognizing he's no real
Takas din ko, guys.
jungler off to the side as Bogax again just going to try and trade this one out. Will not get the end of the line, second proc, but both these top laners down to about 200 HP and it's getting a little dicey.
Yeah, at least for Morgan, he's got the heal, right? You can, there you go, use the cold week. You end up getting a good amount of...
Ala.
Ligago naman tayo.
Yung ate, patay ano? Kapit na matay ano ba? Ang... Ito nila. Rengar. Rengar.
So yeah, seeing the TP going in.
Esa guy, esa guy.
Bogax having to use that one there.
Dua belang jungle, lugi
Late
na.
vision down before he does get his reset in. Should be fine to the TP to the lane if he's feeling like he's under any pressure, but again, good.
Hey, bullshit.
Actually, Lee Sin just moving up towards that top scuttle just now, so eventually we'll get the equal trade as we see the TP being burned by Morgan. That's going to be enough to kind of just secure
Wait,
the top
ako.
side map here for Hunt.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what his plan is here. Because you have...
Guys, yung talaga, give it go.
He has the TP.
Huwag niya nakitaan, huwag niya nakitaan.
Hasn't got access to that teleport now, so
Gulo tayo, gulo tayo na eh.
try and use the push that Chobi
No,
has.
dagan jud.
Try and make a play top towards Morgan, but looks like with Solid Snake having reset, going back onto the map himself,
Dagan jud,
Hanwha
boys.
don't want to go over aggressive on this top lane.
Dagan, boys.
Bakit palo ng stress?
Two lads recalling, gonna let one go as he stops the recall of Ackerman on this Mumu. Again, just trying to be in justice, try and keep them along in this lane because you went depth with tier on the Ezreal, so it's actually a lot better for him to stay as long as possible with as little items as they can.
Yeah, and I mean, they're doing a really phenomenal job here as Hanwha. Again, like, Morgan, before he reset, got that ward up at the fronts for Solid Snake, so spotted
Uy, trash kilid, trash. Ay, trash man.
playing off of like the
Yeah, ate ako jud yung ginauna ba?
shoves in bot with Vista, the second they get vision top. Cool. We know we're safe. Let's move off of that. But the big thing that I want to see here is like, how is Willer going to distance himself from Solid Snake? Because right now they're just like holding hands.
Guardian Gaming, no?
Skipping along beside each other. That's not what you want. As this Lee Sin, you want to find that opportunity where
Sa akin, bot sa kubi, kina-push na lang
you
bot.
can try and make this big play top. So they're actually moving Vista up right now as they might try to make something happen.
Be careful, Cody. You are level 6 right now. Willer is just hovering to the side. Will be able to stop this recall as well.
Wala akong viewers kay
Get himself out, no
kuan.
problem at all. And even with a jungler around, I don't feel like Infinity want to take that 2v2.
Yeah, but they don't have vision of where Homo are live right now. They will with Willer showing, but you see Bogax, he hits a back all the way off that turret because he was worried about that dive on the top side with the wave crashing. So Morgan doing a really good job of punishing this now as Bogax will get some of the wave, but level advantage and the plate already going to Paul.
Solid Snake sneaking his way now into this bottom side.
Bug.
As soon as he walks up to it, it's pretty much confirmed. Snuck around the corners.
Gapak ka ba? Bug.
Hello.
Siguro ko niyapak mo.
Well, aware of this. Now, I don't think you need to over-aggress towards this. Just give it.
Kaya nga, wala na ako na W ba?
It's one dragon, but
Diretso ko
let's
git
see if he can steal it.
Chovy hasn't got the push right now.
Uy, panahon.
So Cody putting himself in a position. White Lotus not quite got the bullet time just yet. They're going to jump straight in onto Willer. TP
Post ko ng gin.
Death going aggressive as they look to try and secure this.
Ako nalugi, mayroon ko.
But he falls to the ignite. First
Diman.
going on to Hanma.
Tama, tama.
One for one. Flash. Ackerman in a little bit of trouble. They don't
Shit, the gaming.
And Cody not going to get the trade it back. 2 kills for a dragon. Definitely feeling like it's more Hanma-like thing.
Ay, shit.
The TPs from Chovy to the bot side meant that you could actually group up as Homo and look for these plays, and nicely done. Picking off Solid Snake, not able to
Bug.
opening here is Infinity with that level 6
I'm not punishing Cody. What a show right now. He's losing a lot of it.
Ayan na Drago, Oracle, good.
Anything, the fancy feet of Chovy just knowing exactly where he needs to stand.
Ipagawas din ano, DR.
He's just getting punished right
Gato yan to, ano da? Sige, dali na lang.
Cannot take this 1v1.
But you can see right why Chovy is so difficult to play against in this mid. He's a 10 CS lead at 15. His death takes a good chunk of his health bar. In more than
Daga.
10 CS lead at
Balik
15
diri,
is
balik.
absolutely insane. He's the highest average CS across the board, and if you look at any point in the game,
Gago na kulbaan nun.
just himself, it's insane what he can do.
Yi, man din.
Look at Solid Snake in this replay as well. He just takes so
Push him,
much
sulay.
damage. Him and Ackerman, the 2v1
Push him kayo.
before it began.
Ay, naikuan rin daw. Gago ka sa inyo. Gago ka sa inyo.
Just unfortunate, they stick around that bit too long. They tried to connect the play, but Cody already getting much damage.
Shit.
Same when you look towards White Lotus. The level
Yeah,
6 from Infinity is where they really come online, but trying to fight level 4 on your Mumu, not gonna happen.
Sugi na tag-post, post na sa
You
ani.
need that bullet time. You need that curse.
Hindi ko mag-block.
You need that lockdown available to you so you can get a
Fucker.
so you
Split post, split post, split post.
affirm yourself as the AD carry. And White Lotus get himself into a much better position. So now he has to get the dragon, but they do lose a gold lead, about 2,500, just a little bit under. As you see, Bogax just getting punished.
Huh?
every
Sorry
single
na,
time.
huh?
Get a slice and dice into him. It takes about half his health.
And this is just Morgan being able to play off the advantages that we talked
Ito
about.
ang paborito sa ano ba, sa
Vision
Rengar.
control, playing in the dark, making sure that Bogax couldn't be safe underneath his tower, and even though you don't get the actual commitment topside, just then
Ako'y red.
get
Ako red do.
this lead, and now Hanwha again, like a 2,000 gold lead at the 9-minute mark, and we're not seeing much from Infinity. They want to try and look for these fights at the Rift Herald, but still level 5,
Gago na, di ko.
level 5 at Ackerman, which is why Willer's been able to take that objective without Infinity being able to play.
Legal!
Ah!
Again, solo lanes going very well for Hanwha Life. They got themselves a 10 CS lead pretty much across the board in terms of those lanes. Chovy trading very effectively into Cody, and this
Bullshit.
type of game
Boy.
is totally fine for the side of Hanwha Life.
Bug.
The longer the game goes on, the more
Good ako, gago ka.
the harder it becomes to set up your wombo for Infinity. Infinity need to be the ones making the aggressive moves. They need to be the ones looking for some kind of an advantage, because they're just going to slowly lose.
And their biggest
Yeah,
obstacle
what?
is dragon. You've already got whatever about the fight going a bit skew is, at least you've got one dragon. So if you can start to power through these, like pick up the next 2 minutes, you can very quickly get a soul onto the map where Hanwha need to fight you.
But-
Quickly as we talked about, so much burst damage on Infinity.
Bro, gago.
Pretty much anyone in Hanwha Life's health
Oh.
are gone completely askew. So
Yung item ng paspas tayo sa
play through that. Willer again, good job getting vision and just keeping pressure on Solid
Storm
Snake.
Razor.
So it's not quite able to keep his own jungle safe, and we will see about a 3 or 4 3 camp lead going now.
Oh, look at me today.
As Chovy for Hanwha Life could push in, and again 500 gold lead here for Chovy. You're looking at the
BR taga,
junglers with
BR.
700. You're looking at top lane with 400.
DR? Tara, tara, tara.
It's not massively significant, but it's enough to just
Kailang ha?
they're gonna get the
Kay, mag-airwaves ako sa
themselves set up and get more warm.
Tanunhan.
Those little small moments that just make Humble Life so scary for a team like Infinity, where they are finding just keep the small advantages and make them the bigger ones.
Tira.
It's also just the efficiency we've seen with Will, right? He's been able to continuously have some pressure, but he's never had to fully commit to a play fighting a dragon, right? So he's just been farming the whole time. Solid's recovering, trying to support his team. It means that he is behind when it comes to CS. Willer again, you can see forcing him back, and if Solid Snake's not able to have impact in his lanes, it becomes really difficult for Infinity to find these advantages. Even now, you can see pushing mid for Chovy. Fantastic. They overdid the top side. Infinity have to dip away from this turret.
Pag na maka-Mercury, gay ko, wala. May dogs ko na ito.
No.
Three, kung dito.
Do get the Gore Drinker finished up onto Willer, and that's going to be a big power point right now. You want that Gore Drinker for your Xin Zhao to be able to trade effectively, because we see how powerful it is, how much health you can get back
Bug.
in those big 5v2 fights.
I think right now,
Tapos yung double kill, tuloy mo? Antay sa anong daw, Rengar.
Gisulat pa ni mo dira.
gonna basically net in the spot lane turret.
Namatay ang
Ano sa
duha.
Bridget?
This is what we haven't
Pangi ka ng Bridget.
Umbot.
like using this Renekton in the top side to just be its own thing.
Tapos yung mga 1-8 na nagugin niya.
They've oftentimes tried to play towards
Bug.
Morgan, but eventually them
Gaw, 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 bantay ha.
resources put into this.
Nadulong tayo mga isang targetan ha.
Renekton's winning anyway. Let's just invest in depth
Ay, di,
to make sure we're winning across the board.
Tara, sa bota. Wala, lubag yung sarili.
Pero punta natin eh.
Morgan in a little bit of trouble, will get the Q off, flashes away, still
Pasok ko.
It's a
Pasok ko.
Doon, paspas
Dali,
ka.
gold dali, dali.
gift to the gods from Infinity.
We just couldn't, right? We just
Yagan, walang buwang.
Morgan. Look, you got the solo kill. That's what matters.
Uy, gago.
Good job. Denies a bunch of that wave as well. So
Bug.
unfortunate. It's a bit of a late flash. but
Uy, yay.
winning top.
Jin, ang Jin, ang Jin, ang Jin.
Gay. Uy, ako.
14 seeds.
Kay ate.
Ala.
Pag. Ay, ate.
Just slowly but surely now
Goodbye.
Tapos pasa sa Ginoy, gago.
forward, but I feel like Infinity are saying, look, we can force
Kaya
around this
Kung
dragon.
1-8
This is where
na
we're
buwang.
strong. It's got those big AoE team fights, and now knowing that there's no flash,
Gago,
ultimate onto
nag-move
Morgan,
din siya.
a little bit of help with it.
It's gonna suck that Infinity don't have any
Magano tabi, pag ano yun, Randuin's Omen.
Noah's clips coming through.
Yung galaban mo.
Snake not having
Yung bastos yung dagan.
his own board drinker, whereas you look across at home, everyone's got their mythic finish.
Bastos yung dagang Jin.
Takbo ng Jin.
You're like, we just don't have the item
Katong
spots we need right now
mga
to
patay.
contest this.
Siya ang mastery.
Morgan just hovering towards that bot side before returning to top. So recognizing, look, I can cover, I can be around just in case. No one's going to be able to stop me. And just means there's a free dragon going over to Honma. So they get themselves the second straight goal of the game. They still have themselves a 4,000 gold lead. And now we want to see what can the side of Honma do with these small advantages. As you said, the Mythic's finish them just gives them such a massive power.
Dapat nag-ghost ko ato, daan.
Look into them until they finish them.
And Infinity
Wala na effect akong Mercury.
Aha.
dedicated to Humboldt towards
Hmm?
right? We
Sila
don't have
kapakan ba?
major control going into top side. Can't really dive Morgan. He's a bloody Renekton. You're not. That's not gonna go.
Paugas ito ano eh, Israel.
You get
Opium dapat na siya.
have their play on the bot side.
Oo, kung stats go.
To reset, they're gonna be
69.
here in top. Infinity just aren't really getting their
69.
chance to play a turn in this game.
Paugas.
Losing out every single time. It's
Ayaw na ipabongkal ang record, gaw.
turn. You're not
Ayaw pag-resist.
reactionary play. You want feels very
Nari na yung pantog dancer.
As we see now, the rest of Infinity are in towards this mid lane. There is Rift Herald just
Ala.
on, so that could be the
3-3
next
ng ano.
objective
Ano,
they
BR sila?
They have got the Eclipse and finally the Gore Drinker finished up for White Lotus and Solid Snake respectfully. We are going to see the TP coming in towards that top side.
Rengar lang og Jin, ilang dagang kill ba niya? Mura yung dala sa landula.
Yeah, so they do manage to get the quicker reset, moving in mids, and now getting control. But look at where Chovy is, right? They don't actually know where he is, so you can always just gift this Rift Herald across. You don't have to commit as Honma and always have Chovy try and take a bot lane turn. But it looks like
Jin
they're
and
going to
Jin.
move in and look to try and pressure onto this mid lane, which means Infinity once more have got to come back and fight mid.
Cody doesn't have a lot of mana either, down to about 25%, so hope is just not landing is being wasted and those resources aren't going away, as we can see that Will
Excellent ka.
safeguarding away from the rest of his team. We see the kick being actually mitigated there by the portal jump as they go in. Ackerman catches out Deft, but goes with him.
Push mid.
Can't get anything else out of him, so everyone just backing away, almost finding engages Infinity. I feel like they know they're on a timer, they're looking for something.
Bulgak still has push in top side, which is why they're maybe looking for Ackerman.
Oh, they're looking for Ackerman in the mid lane. There's the ball coming in to stop Joey for going into the shifting
gaya kitang concept po.
Tapos, boss, ayan o.
Legend. Wala ka rin. Guardian mo, Choy.
Ricardo ang din mo respond, guys. Mahulot ta.
Ha?
It may not have been clean, but it was effective coming from Infinity. They managed to pick off so many different members of Hanwha. You even got Bugax, who now able to get a couple of kills for himself. Will get this Rift Herald as well, and you can take over in these lanes.
It is a huge shift in momentum as we have a look at the Axe replay. This was so scrappy and everyone used everything.
You see the Amumu's already looking to back. Ackerman's like, I don't want any more of this.
Hindi na madulaan ma.
Getting that much damage on the winner, and look at Bugax here. Perfect positioning, manages to get a ton of damage on towards Deft, who's out of mana himself, so he's forced to flash away into the waiting hands of Solid Snake. It's Infinity perfectly setting up all the moving parts to trap Hanwha, and yeah, I mean, Chovy's there, right, but
he wasn't able to get in.
Yeah, there was just nothing that he could do. So, Infinity, phenomenal job to find the fight that they needed.
And they're able to take down Morgan as well when he's by himself, when he's just a lone crocodile. Look at the damage, Cody, my son, that was incredibly well played.
That's why we see a band against him, right? He is a phenomenal Zoe player, and we're seeing it in these team fights, but this is what we talked about for Infinity, right? Like, so many of their advantages come from early skirmishes. They're not about trying to, like, hey, let's move Cody topside to Bugax, let's try and play with, like, Ackerman moving around the map. It's about fighting, and this is the fighting that Infinity have now found.
Well, Willer is hovering towards this bot side to make sure that Cody and Solid Snake don't get anything too crazy in their ideas. Cody did pick up 2 kills in that last fight, finished up the Luden's Tempest. They are still behind in gold. Infinity are still playing catch-up, but it's the moments like this that maybe you're going to set up for success. The curse of the stab, bullet time, Death almost got down. Ackerman not quite in there, though. Almost falls to the turret. There's going to be the ultimate coming in. Ackerman, ooh, just about stays alive, and that's going to be enough to keep him going. Death needs to arcane shift away as Cody picking up these cleanses, keeping himself irrelevant in these fights.
The thing is though, Infinity commit to bot side with the Rift Herald, don't get terror. Commit to mid, don't get the play, and Chovy's pushing in top side. He's poking out Bugax with the range discrepancy, and it'll actually be Hanwha.
Parang putungkay ng ban.
So despite the proactive plays of Infinity, it's Hanwha who are winning on map stakes.
The execution, it's being able to convert those plays into those kills, into those turrets, into those objectives, doesn't quite hit the mark here for Infinity, and they are committing quite a lot. You can see the ideas are there, but like you said, the execution itself just needs to be tightened up just a tad.
And it's unfortunate, right? Because we kind of got hyped for Infinity. We saw that team fire, we thought maybe, just maybe they can, but Hanwha again, taking the step back. They are so good at slowing down the pace of the game, making sure that they're the ones that now can, okay, Trophy's got top side. We're in position with Willer to stop any potential plays from Infinity. So you consistently have Hanwha in positions to trade up. And now, with the commitment to the top side with Bugax and with Ackerman, Willer's just free to take the dragon for himself.
Yeah, takes himself the dragon. This should be the turret going over, though, in favor of Infinity Esports. That will be a nice little bit of gold, so you're trading power now for power later. That's just generally how you want to go for this. And finally, we are seeing them look to trade up if they can, as we look to see maybe they can get a blue buff out of it as well. The dragon taking a little bit longer, I imagine, than most anticipated, but Solosek just realizing there that the Chovy's not alone.
Yeah, this might be a bit greedy, though, because when you look at where like Bugax is right now, he kind of needs to reset, so you can have Cody progress onto this bottom lane. It means that if I'm Hanwha, I'm kind of looking at this mid lane going, hey, look, are we capable of making a play? Morgan rotating over. Not going to be looking for the dive, though, as Chovy is just going to collect that top wave, and Hanwha taking a little bit slower, although I say that, Willer and Morgan moving into position.
They know exactly where everyone is. They're putting pings.
Kita ka itong ano daw, katong trailer sa Final Fantasy First Soldier.
Nay, bago?
Katong ano good, itong mobile nga Battle Royale.
Ay, kato, nako at kita ko at may bagong trailer ato.
Nakakatugaw.
Release ulit today.
Ha?
Naka-release na. Oh.
Wala pa.
Naka-ato?
Diba, ningon nagugag. Alam na 4. Tingala ko. Release ay palang gani.
Ay, kabilog na. Mobile na dito. Pwede ito mag-blue stacks na to.
Oh, mobile lang. Pwede kaya. Pwede siguro sa cellphone ako.
Lag lang yun sa blue stacks.
Di ko blue stack eh. Dako ka nagkaon sa ano.
Yate kayong...
Ako ginagamit.
Diba, yate kayong blue stacks kay na sariling RAM. Gago kayo.
Bantog lang po di ay.
Nasa sariling RAM. Murag ko ang blue stacks doon ka ng emulator sa cellphone ba?
Yan eh. Sa ko emulator, pero magamit lang sa PC spec. Pero makabuluhan na. Ano ang RAM?
Yan ang doon ko ata may PUBG Mobile ta. Saan to top?
Ikaw, tara.
Murag yapon ng...
Ay gosh.
Siya mong yapon niyo, gago. Kadagan, gago. Upat yun do. Putang. Sabi no, 4 yun mo no, kaya mo no.
Alang mo yung nasa akin. Kaya madaling klase. Tingko ko din ko sa ano, sige, ko bantay.
Yung i-penetrate ni ko ano, ni Twitch. Ay!
Set up for these big team fights, it's very hard for Hanwha to reset, especially if like someone like Chovy or Death end up getting caught up in that kind of CC chain that we're seeing coming through from the
A minute or just over it for the next response. Live onto it as we can see now Snake a little bit of trouble there, gonna get himself a blast going out and actually
sayang wala kay Bira.
into safety, but with everyone committing to
Silang.
trying to get that pick, it means that tier 1 in mid definitely gonna fall. Infinity trading up. This is looking like Hanwha. I won't say desperate just yet.
Yan na din siya. Uy!
Ayaw,
naganto yun.
Nanad na ka? Ay, minions.
Tulong na ko.
Very close to getting himself his Rabadon just
Tulong.
but they are waiting to see if they can just catch somebody
Sleep
out.
ka
There's
muna.
going down to Vista. Maybe they're looking for
Sleep muna.
Sleep ka muna ng mahimbing.
Uy, marag lamang doon ang kalaban. Ay, sanita, di ma-kill ka na. Buha nga niya.
Nagpaning ko ano? Ipis?
Okay. Put dito. Saan natin?
Do.
Pam!
Gago.
Atay.
Lagi gukod ka.
Lagi ko din.
Mami! Ah. Patay. Ay, wala day. Dagan to go. Dagan yun. Pas kayo.
so far back with Death, he actually doesn't get the best of one of the Death doing a really good job of zoning out this thing.
Kaya lapit pa ito eh.
Miller's able to come in, Morgan's able to come in, it's just not enough damage left. Form the kind of the
Patayin mo.
combo we were talking about for Infinity.
Wala. Saka.
Reaching there from Infinity. You didn't have to try
Si Gambak na.
to try and make it work. You had options.
Kaya na ito yung bak.
Morgan, he's winning the side lane as we can now see him invested into this jump.
Pamjog eh. Kumuda ko yung pisa ka.
Easy, quick kill, and Hanwha Life starting to pick
Ah, daksan din ko.
Kaya mag-art ba?
Free kick goal lead it is here with Ramadan's deck cap. That will not stand for very long as Bogat is still
Ang ka.
Ah, kaya nga ito.
Bullshit ni Mang na may need na rin.
Ah! Ah, pumunta rin sugat eh.
Amoy
Taga,
ko.
nabawaga tong boot ko.
Ito din.
Ah! Ito, may dool ko sa tower da. Mali.
Huwag ko nang spam mga animal. Ay, sige mo ko gambak eh.
Ito ni Mario.
Wala. Yati. Na.
Ha?
Uy!
Hindi ba?
Gago po kay Nida ba? Sige pang labay.
Wala, ang tako na mo.
Oh.
Butay sila baga.
Sige kung likay sa kuan, ginapang labay sa Nida. Big kaon.
Gaon na.
Yate, okay, fighting.
Look. Wow.
Yan, bakit kayo ikaw lang?
Ko niya para lang kahit. Miss mo, uy.
Ay, bullshit. Pero mo dia.
Yung bigyan na ito gawin.
Ay? Unlock. Ay.
Expand pag yun.
Dako na gudyaw.
or you just end up losing it with double minion waves and also double super minion waves and how about being able to
Item na ko mythic.
the last nail on the
Okay na yung life ko.
little bit of a hard spot to be in to try and fight out of. You need to try and find Death. You need to try and find Chovy. They are your two only options for the next team fight. You
Ito man yung bot.
blow them up, and then you have a chance. Then you're given an opportunity
bot,
to
bot.
maybe get some more time for your character. Maybe look to try and push it sideways. But I don't think Hanwha's going to
Ang bot, may bot, guys.
to close out.
and I mean you've kind of lost the moment unless you can have bug axe
Sabers.
like Ackerman and White Lotus to like
Ay.
both Chovy and Death. You're just kind of out of time.
Yeah, they're going to get tier 2 in the top side.
Ay, sakita ay.
Prism Infinity, but you got Chovy and Morgan to the top side. You got the rest of Hanwha hovering in the red side jungle, so you know you are safe to go for this. Death will get drowsy. Morgan's a little bit isolated away from his team, and they will try and commit onto it. This should be the last fight coming in. We do get the stuns down. It's
Go,
double
see.
uses Death, gets himself out. He has a QSS and he has some plans.
Puro bantang igana sila dito sa Maungkay. Sabi Maungkay dito.
Gwapo kay silang set ba gago.
Yan eh.
Isahan ka ba?
Kaya na, late game. Okay lang na.
Kay Lisin. Sayong kung sila nag-rush ganyan ba?
Nari ka lang kauban dra.
Sus. Love bug. Is bug. Masa ilagay karon panabot.
Kaya po, advance na ito akong yun na. Movement speed. So hawi atong Jax o gato ang ano, Jax o kaning Azir o gato. Apel po gagaw.
Apel po ko yate kay. 2 weeks lang minion si ate.
Yeah, I think the big one here was just
Ito bot na din sila.
they just show that hey look, Infinity overcommitted on one side of the map. I will go and
Push yung
take
tatadari
this
oh.
where
Hindi mo sila
even
sabi.
when you got
Push na lang ko.
certainly Humboldt showing that
Sige.
and then also having that late game scaling was just kind of the cherry.
Living say,
It was
look death in the eye.
pretty much the cherry on top, like you said, the insurance,
do
if you will. Say, look, we have an Ezreal, we have an Azir, we know that if this goes to 30, 35 minutes, we are just going to be stronger unless you can get that kind of setup.
Taas ko na kanan man din eh.
Again and again, we do see the LCK coming back. You know, it was a tough loss, it was very, very close in the first one. They were able to keep themselves on the board. And honestly, I think it's a good start here. Shut down.
Ba dyan ako ano? Dyan na tiwas.
Humboldt, they've been very good at getting their own kind of play. It is like slow.
Hey! Buwan ni Jax.
Shut down. That we saw a lot from regionals, and it looked
Every second counts thanks to the reliable Cisco network. Infinity Esports got a great setup in the team fight around the Rift Herald.
and this was just such
Ayaw, anong nag-DR man tawon ka doy. Patay.
where they like thought, okay, we kind of got this, but Miller overextending there, so the Snake goes in, and Infinity just kind of go, right, we can actually do this. Bogax is in a great spot, so they come down, and this was the moment where we start to see some of the turnaround plays for Infinity, but unfortunately, later on in the game, it just wasn't enough, but at least we still get to see that
Taas ko ni Ron nag-DR.
has that fight in them, even if the potential is there.
Ay! Ayaw. Ay, tabangi.
Did miss a beat, got choked over the wall with Ember's Divine. Was like, oh, where's the
Ano atong pukon? Ay, wala na. Yang atong ghost.
Yeah.
Yung dikit. Party, mangguron sila.
We're so loge.
Very, very logi.
Very loge.
versus the LJL's detonation focus need two mainstays.
Ang gusto nila nagod tring chogat ng CC o kaning Maungkay. Simple yan dula.
Beautiful pangs of you belong to me.
Pag Merculiar na ko, alright. Balin-balin yung post. Top na sa do.
Isa pa lang na push.
Spirits alone
Gani.
and forsaken. I
Gago na po sa tugat.
Make or break.
Uy!
Hi.
Look!
Ay, gago.
Ba't dyan to siya? Ay, sana to eh. Nagbira man ko na, kabang naglupad pa siya.
Gago, 14 minutes pa gani.
Yan niya ako, ganun score 44-12. Kitang niya, gibaw mo sa gaw kaya sulas. Machine mo ganun Twitch mo. Uli yun, uli, anak niya.
Balik siya sa agi niya eh.
Tapan.
Balik siya siyang agi. So, bag. Bag.
Ay, good.
Pwede ko niya gigaw.
Yun naman pwede na ni Kaya. Anong ito?
Ito.
Kasama natin.
Nakados pa ko. Naga...
Adjust dito na i-jump.
Kaya pa man siguro ni.
Tawang ko eh. Ang plus ni mga ama ba? Saka dia... Huwag gap sana eh. Kill.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Pundo na gud akong kill sa 8. Bukan naka-triple ko dito. Wala na, hindi ka nagkamatay.
Duwar akong kill yati.
Ayaw, go sigaw.
Eh! Bag! Saka. Bag!
Dunkin' Donut. Sounds good.
Dot na katong kuan katong basketball na kuan ba? Darius.
An enemy has been slain.
Nga, sugat siya sa sugat.
Has been slain.
Bag ka rin.
Nice. Uy, balik pandulaw. Kaya pa pang balik. Sergeant tadi.
Tama din ako, kalimut ko guardian. Gay, dyan ang Diyos gay.
Wow, nanood na ko.
Bag.
Naglisod na sila. Item lang mo gaw kay para makabawi na po.
Gani, may guardian ko yung
Sige sa laro.
Life is pain. I am sweet release.
malapit siya sa bot.
Siguro na sa ni Bostad. Terus.
Solis man.
Ay, dali, nag-aktang. Pata to eh.
Ate.
Kita sa Didoy.
Despite both teams being main states,
Bag.
both of them actually tie for the most appearances at Worlds for emerging.
Away ko ng Jax nga, nag-natural spot man siya. Nabali siya 18 attack.
And I want to start with the story of
Ay, ang passive.
because I think we all want
So, wala mo kayo naggamit siya ha?
about their performance and their exit from MSI. Last year, though, they made it to groups.
Wala ko, light team na ko.
How do we feel about
Wala
the
na yung map na ko.
love after Worlds?
I mean, I think the big thing to point out for their summer is if you didn't follow them in their region, you look at it and you're like, oh, you all made it again. Like, they must have just breathed.
Hold on yun, kimo backup na.
Ano ko.
Tik lang. I'm alive!
Yate nga nida.
Mungkas sa mahog kayo gano'n eh. Sugat. Tugi dyan kong sisi, basta nanis lang daw. Mahog kayo sugat.
Gakaliok. Yeah, man. Sayang naman.
Expectations couldn't be higher. Can't seem to hear you. So hopefully we can communicate that to Moritz. Oh, there you are. Go ahead.
Sorry. I personally expect BFM to wield it as a double-edged sword. On one hand, I think for a lot of teams with less experience, that could be a problem going into...
Ay, win 3 games. Pildi man ta dua ka dula na to. Stuck sa one.
Teams have such a long history, but have never actually faced one another.
In 3 games na yun. 3 games yun.
That these players individually match what we've seen, even from teams that a lot of people would perceive as stronger in the form of C9. I think the expectations and the sky is basically the limit for DFM.
In the pre-show, you guys put it very, very beautifully. This is the best that Japan has to offer. For people that are not in the loop, they of course played with their coach Kazu at MSI, but now that there's residency for Steel, they were able to add Gang, their support, who has really been turning heads, I think, with this play so far.
Yeah, and then I do want to call out both of the Japanese players on the lineup, because I do think that Unipan and Ebi, I lean towards Ebi. I know most people lean towards Unipan, but these are the two when you're talking about like who is the strongest players that Japan has ever produced. It's these two. So this is really like, I know a lot of the casters have been saying this is like LJL and Zodia. Like this is the team that they've been waiting for, which is why we've been talking about them so much, because there are actually a lot of legitimate expectations on this team, I think, especially based on some of their best of one performances at the mid-season invitational.
Oh, absolutely. You touched on it already, but let's look at the mid lane a little bit more in depth. Nomans, who once again, every time we have Unicorns of Love at an international tournament, we have to say, Nomans crushed the region. It happened again. And he's up versus Arya, who is definitely the mid lane prodigy in the LJL, a successor to Seros. And what many people say is maybe, I talked to some of the LJL experts, Nymera said he could very well be the best mid in this group. Emily, what do you think about that?
That's an interesting take. But I do think, like, so in the No Man's Arya matchup, I think you're looking at Arya a lot as a player. You're looking at him to be, in my opinion, a little bit more of a standard stable mid laner, where in terms of what No Man's brings to this team, it's a little bit more like how we talked about Chovy, right? In terms of he is able to spread his influence, especially on certain champions, like off the top of my head, the Rise, where he is able to help the team that way, in addition to, you know, making noise in lane. Whereas Arya, I see as more of like, he is such a, if he can be a strong like laner and focal point, it allows the rest of the team to do basically whatever they want.
Chronicler, what's your view on the mid lane matchup?
Something that, as pointed out already by Emily, like the similarities to what Chovy means for Hanwha also means that there's going to be a lot more pressure on Nomans, because he is the focal point of the team, right? His damage share is absurd, higher than it should be, which is both really good sign for him as a player individually, but also means that whereas Arya, I don't think has to stomp this matchup. If he can go even or can exert a little bit of pressure, he's going to feel great because he's backed up by so many strong players. On Unicorns, there's a lot more pressure to actually proactively try to get Nomans ahead, and I think that that is always a tough ask.
That's a great point. We also checked in with the fans in the MasterCard fan prediction on Twitter at MasterCard Nexus, and they predicted DFM to win with 65.2%.
Go, bot. Ay, connect swap.
Boot.
I do think they could have the edge over Unicorns, despite the fact that I do think one of the strengths of Unicorns is that when they're on, they're communicating together. They make plays together super well around the map, right? So breaking that is going to be what DFM is going to have to do. And
It got hit. Tapos na yung gas. Ay, namalik Oracle deck.
I'm going to go with DFM as well, and it ties into what I mentioned earlier. I think that a team, as we saw last series with Hanwha, like yes, they won, but it wasn't that clear.
Being Israel
They're
Drasan.
very reliant on individual players, and there's a team that is a little bit more well-rounded, that has more ins, or more out rather, to try and find angles to victory. I think that's generally safer bet in this case. That's definitely.
Alam, pre, mag-skin ka.
Very good skin na.
So high, so we'll see what material.
It seems like 78% of you are not trusting. I was really up to
Doon ay ward eh, dito.
Iya, ate. Iya, ate. Karma is a bitch.
Outplayed, baby.
Ano mo skin?
Ruin, Sentinel. Ay, Victorious.
Ay, Victorious din.
Nalagi chroma na. Dapat
Ay.
mo siga-siga man na, di ba?
Hindi, siguro na ako.
Build 2 na sila. oh.
Sarang flex siguro na yun ako. Kung tayo, twisted 3 line.
Ito, no? Okay.
Huli nga, biya ka ito.
Barata. Bro, madol ka.
Adlo kayo. Lucian.
Adlo pa yung gosh. Ito? Buwang eh. OP man ang skin gaw. Go man akong hitbox.
Ha?
Wow!
Wow!
Nice one.
Nice. Nice assist to.
Isa ko, pagkamay ko live.
So, tama na. Items na tayo.
Item.
Item. Kulang ito 100.
Pensa?
Kulang 100. May gagawin hit.
Netega.
Bug. One hit na na.
Stay safe good sila good.
Hello and welcome back to Worlds 2021.
Bug.
You might notice that the voices have changed slightly here on the caster desk. I'm Medic, I'm joined by Golborg for the final 4 games of the day. And what are 4 games we have? We're going to start off Group B here, Golborg.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I think Group A, a lot of people took a look at it. They saw Hanwha live, they saw Energy, and they're like, this has to be the strongest group. But I also think in terms of these coming in now, two groups there, very on the same level. I think that one of these teams are going to be incredibly
Nice. Nice one. Kapat.
Ay!
My God, nakapatay pa tong Lucian, gosh. Mukha ginang-ignite to eh.
Uy, mythic, mythic,
Malugi din ko ng ignite ba?
mythic, mythic.
You just said as well, because in Group A,
Kasi lugi good sila sa taas daw. Pahama kayong Leona.
one of these teams when you finally meet the other time around. So that is why it's so pivotal, not only for making it
Okay, post na to nagbalik na lang.
Sala lang, Adrio.
Nag-DR sila.
Nawala. Isus lagi to siya. Kita ka to? Tusan nila ba? Tapos yung gisiruhan man ko.
Di mo huwag kakadulog taro.
except of course Hanwha Live losing that game.
Eh? Nice one. Lalo, ay, dua dito SS? Bantog lang, na-slow ko. Huwag ka bantay. Yes.
Korea mo kaming skin, gago. Di mabantayan.
I think there's also some key players on this roster as well. If we start with Unicorn to block, of course, keeping their top side of the map with Nomads once again.
Kamuli
Ano si Ulit?
These are just players that we keep seeing again and again and again from this region, and there's a reason for it because these are some of the best coming in from the CIS.
It does feel like Unicorns of Love come into every international tournament and they're like, okay, we can plug and play an AD carry. Who are we going to have? Originally it was Gadget, then it was Loaded for MSI, then Loaded Argon was there in his first ever international competition, alongside that storied roster, Boss, Ananasik, No Man, Santas, all of these guys that have played together for so long and who have represented the CIS region really well across the last few years. You have to remember, it was only Worlds 2020 when the CIS region made their first group stage and it was Unicorns of Love who were able to do that.
Exactly, I think a lot of
Like the Unicorns of Love made their first group stage.
Exactly.
Albus not.
Well, I think a lot of people in general remember back to last year. They're like, oh, Supermassive, they're the one that beat out Mad Lions.
Ay, gago. Ano ko na hit?
Unicorns of Love did super amazing against Supermassive afterwards and made it to the group stage. So obviously, when you hear this team name, there is so much following.
Iwas sa Leone.
Focus me. Another storied roster, third year in succession that they're representing now they have really combined the sum of their parts. We've seen them with subs over the last MSI, and now they don't have any subs.
That's the thing, we've heard the unofficial Yeltsin casters talk about it.
What happened on top?
Just mention it on the desk as well. The Exodia of Japan has finally been assembled here with some of
Ah,
the
nadaring buka.
Tapos na ko rin slow. Allah! Grabe mga heal ng mga mawa.
Gago. Kasi item mo na
Delikado.
TM din. Ito na naman tayo. Gago din siya mo tayo.
Ayaw ga! Patayan naman ako eh. Tuludan pinagtao. Ayaw pagdasda, sabay tagaw, laton ka.
with their support player Santos coming in because it's going to be
Tap, yapon ka.
Tata, pagkataon na ito yung dua. Ta.
general and less about one side is going to matter. So being that team with the bot lane priority,
Hook. Like ni hook daw.
Para makahit tayo, shit.
Yung punta na yung isa.
Daya mo tayo.
Din ako. Ayo guys.
Surrender ka.
Okay, man din rin ano dahil. Ang Oliver.
Ba naman kayo, Bolivar? Ang ga.
Wala ito. Kita ng sunfire, eh.
Is one of these mid laners to me that he's really interesting because
Karigaw.
Jud ni kuha ng buang mo.
Okay. Wala siya si flash. Pag itik-tuyok to niya. Awi, gudang ano? 23?
Bird.
Asong mo. Ay, mag-change di kung boost eh. Penalty.
Eyes will definitely be on the mid lane. As you said, alongside that, you have to look to the jungle. And Anasik, we get to say it once. Do you want to do the thing about the name?
it happens everywhere else, yeah, so, okay. Guys, you know that Analysic's name means Little Pineapple. Wow.
Okay, so that's the only one that is that is his name. I believe we're going to head as we get ready to get on into this.
So, all ba yung Lucian?
Emily and Chronicle, take it away.
Nag-isas lagi ng isa.
Amuti. May kalaban dito, gago.
Wilingaw.
A lot, so I'm just gonna...
Nagtagulong na dere.
Gulong ako.
Ito niyo, uy.
Sakit na makaano ka, gourd drinker.
So in the other group we have, you know,
Ay! Anti-heal di ay! Anti-heal!
Ay, gago.
Grabe oh! Naka-warmog gano'n. Dad!
Oh my god. Takes a kill. Ay. Patay na dedaan.
Useless kaya ang ano ba? Ang ano na to?
Surrender tayo, bullshit man. Dahil kayong...
Kumano na connected?
I think Kusha is actually performed incredibly well, and then obviously everyone's gonna know Doggo. Everyone's gonna know that they kind of want to go towards this 1-3-1 plus 5v5 team fighting style that they don't as well as they can.
Dasong ka. Warrior mentay ka.
Pakapak.
Kaya sana, minion. Pagdali! Oh, Ryura, yun na itra. Kuha na minion. Sanguli naman! Kimpang sword tadi kay nagdugi ka.
Kimpang.
As you pointed out already,
Okay.
in a single Robin best of one, where there's no second.
Nah, nakuha pa ginilang cloud.
Right, like every single match.
Pas na mo tanga na, bulibir mo dagan.
That would terrify me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree, and I think I'm glad you brought up C9 too, because I do want to talk about them. I feel like people are down on them because maybe they still remember the DFM, which we're going to get
Ping pong.
exponentially as an individual player from where he started in the LCS walk-in tournament to now. And I think it's really all about very specific miscommunication.
Ang sayon, no?
Sayon, ginagdali na sayon.
There's a right and wrong there. It's that they need to all agree and all execute on the play.
Alah, Bolivar.
Mission fail.
Breather. 4 games in a row is a long way to go, and I'm sure that my voice.
Bicay intern ka, diba? Parang mo putabi. Yun na lang, maganda lang.
Two teams that will be vying for first place, but probably at the end challenging for second in this group.
Yeah, definitely.
Game on.
There is.
Ay, wait, no. Mercury di ay.
Mercury drug.
Ay, Mercurial day. Mercurial.
Mercury drug. Hello.
Abang.
Gago. Toy, tabangi ka.
Gago ka. Liyo na. Ay, lah, pugbantay na Devilin. Dash kang. GG ha, oy. Pugbantay sa Devilin. Wala, wala mitik ang ano, Leon, no? Post na gid nila, kinasilin ninyo. Oy, ang ano, bigat mo. Itulak mo, oy. Wala. Sarap kawanit ang tower, pwede na yung likodan, iba? Lagi, lahat ng cloud. Butang, ayaw pag-urak Helga, pagbutang na ako gano'n, ward.
Sandali sa ko. Pinag-flash naman mo. Salamat. Tara umanon po na to. Tara, umanon na to.
Tara. Ay, wala yan o, na Bolivar.
Ano?
Dili pwede mano. Haglo. Uy, wala nag-Q. Wala na ko nag-Q. Grabe kang intense yung base race man.
Gani.
Nabro dyan yung tower sa ano? Last year sa ano? Gradient good.
And then just
Pero-
play for him. You already have Lee Sin, which is a great skirmishing champion in the early game. So I think from Unicorns of Love, he can be set up quite nicely. But they avoid it, and they much rather secure the Rakani, which is a contested pick between these two.
Sabong ito na ginang tower, oh, wala.
Towards his Leona, that's his most played.
So, ano ko
Course of summer, and I do love that AoE combination. Curse of the Sad Solar Flare from the DFM bottom lane.
Curse in either of these
true.
champions' name. You can't just put Curse in there.
I guess it's solar time? Bullet flare.
Stop,
Bullet
no.
flare. You know you like it.
Fast on yun.
But it's also just a good pick into the Rakan as well. Rakan
Hindi na akong bantay ko sa base.
super immobile. That's why you often see it picked into the Thresh or into Braum, because they have a hard time dealing with this mobility. So now when you have the Leona coming into it, if you shot him down with the CC chain and you blow him up immediately,
An ally has been slain.
that's what you're looking to do in the mid game.
Ang sayang.
XS pa ka?
Luxury of knowing that it's a Lee Sin, so you're just gonna fourth pick your jungler, and then you're gonna get Epi, that counter pick. So Unicorns of
Nasa kung ikaw ng movement speed na kalaban tayo ba? Tago-tago.
champion don't we want to play against?
Si Kuan na, si...
Blind pick or a top laner.
Papatay na din.
Picking of a specific top laner.
Patay na, hawa. Naka movement speed, oh. Ano, wala na.
So definitely champions with
Sabi na kung si Kuan.
they take into consideration.
Awa na, ibilin.
Ito, 600 good.
Coming into at least in Rakan and Illusion, it kind of makes sense that you don't want to be playing against a Poppy. DFM here, perhaps looking towards their jungle. Talon is something that we've heard
Draw.
from solo queue, but have yet to see picked
Ano?
Okay, DFM, burstiest of
Tol!
Kaasuta ka
Ay,
na.
nalang. Agda, wala ginagula to kilid. Kaya tingala ko na may movement speed. Kaya nga ito eh.
Mo dito day.
With Leona and the rest of the members just pile down, you got two assassins already. It should be
So, wala kong padaya na ito. Dito may higawa.
for Unicorns of Love. It is
Nagaya
going
ko
to be
nabuo akong
Balls,
move.
which would obviously still be flexing to the mid lane, but I am expecting to take
Sabi.
the top side.
It would make a lot of sense. The Unicorns perhaps looking towards a tank or pseudo-tank in the mid lane. Lysandra, of course, with her Frozen Tomb, can mitigate a lot of damage that comes out from the opposition. Shields from Orianna can do the same, but not really to the same degree. The shield, of course, has a travel time because the ball has to get to your teammate, and you might just die before you even get there against a LeBlanc, a Talon, and an MF.
Definitely, and you know what? I think it's a very historic roster. You kind of already see here, we already talked about the top side of Unicorns of Love, and you get historic picks as well. Orianna obviously always sees plays on the championship, same can almost be said for the Lee Sin, and James obviously from that top lane dominance with the Asian teams coming in. The last pick for Detonation focused me into that one. It is going to be this Na, which honestly has been a great pick for Ebi in the past as well, to the point where they would just blind pick this champion as a first or second rotation just because they know how reliable Ebi is. But with these compositions, I'm kind of imagining them trying to play for this Talon instead. We know how fast that Talon clear can be, having full cleared their camps.
Pa, siya na siya, oh.
J-Bad Gaming.
Ka na, Revive Gaming. Para makaingatan na siya ng kalaban. Ay, ako din pag-aasa diyan eh. Pag naitang kalaban. Wala ka, double ano, double smite.
Alongside Arya is a jungle
Okay.
duo to be feared. However, on the other side of the map, you've got Nomans. You have a Nanasek. Like, these guys, they have the experience. They have the pedigree of being on the world stage, and they team up so well together. I'm very much looking forward to seeing this mid-jungle clash in the early game.
Definitely, because I also look at Ananasik, and he's a jungler where he's got a lot of jungle proximity. He's not really playing for himself. He's very selfish, actually. And one of his biggest strengths is finding these picks towards nomads, but having that Orianna into the blank in the mid lane, there's not a lot of pick potential before you really hit that level 6. So that early game setup, I'm going to be curious about Unicorns of Love, of where they want to find it pre-level 6, if they want to find it even at all.
Because that is how Unicorns of Love traditionally played. In the summer season, they were all about getting Nomads ahead, getting him towards a position where he could just dominate his lane and then output the DPS in later game fights, but it does feel a little bit more tricky to do that when he's on something like the Orianna.
Now, I do want to see if Detonation Focus Me does have some level 1 plays, because in their regionals, or just in terms of playoffs as well, they always had something to pull out in the early game, starting Bubble on Zoe, starting E on Silas to get the stun. So it wouldn't even surprise me if we tried and see them go for something here before laning phase really starts.
It looks like they were perhaps expecting Unicorns of Love to step into this tri-bush. You can see Ebby just waiting there, the rest of the team across the wall. But for the moment, no one will face off. There was a ward placed around the red buff by DFM, meaning that they would spot out if Ananasik decided to go for an invade.
And with lanes just going back to normal from the side of Unicorns of Love, there's not really much early intel being gathered here. We usually would see them try to get either a team ward down in the bottom lane to see when they finally hit that lane, or try to get some intel on the enemy jungler. I think that's really pivotal when you play against the Talon as well. But they've not gone for anything. They're probably waiting with their trinkets here for this stage of the game, where the Talon is really very well. You can try and spot him at the Raptors, you can try and get that deep ward towards the river to get authority instead.
Keeping eyes on Steel would be a key
30 seconds until minions spawn.
in this early game. They really need to keep him under wraps, make sure that he can't get snowballing on this Talon, because we've seen, whether in solo queue or while watching Tracking the Flows, just how much damage a Talon can do as he gets towards
Doc siya na kumakinig yan.
so much work. At the moment though, every matchup as
Pasti
expected.
mga lula dahil Layan. Layan.
Pustahan daw.
Yun na.
Pustahan daw. Kasi mo daw, bro.
Minions have spawned.
Tahan sa...
The thing is with Lucian, we were seeing a lot of
UL.
Karon.
Ay.
Sa left o right. Nasa right man yung mga DFM.
Right. Ay mo na, ano sa right? DFM.
You know, even playing with this lane, you don't mind being chopped in the bot side. You take a look at some of the spells.
La 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 la. La 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 la. La la la. Okay, may boost of movement speed ng ano eh. Pharma.
Steel is going to get his red buff, and Ananasik takes away his blue. Actually skipped the wolves, so would have had a slightly quicker time to get up towards the top end if he wanted, but it's decided to stick to the moment.
Yeah, but you also see the full clear going into the Talon now. It's
Wala akong trabaho, paglabay. Labay.
Rodrigo.
Nagurapel sa akin.
This could be a bit unfortunate for Steel.
Oh, out.
Priority in mid lane right now. Super easy for Ananasik to take this level up towards top. But Unicorns of Love, they also have the priority. And because of this, there's not really much you can do to stop these early scuttles from coming through. But
Pag malibel sa'yo, lagi ko lagi. Kaya mali mo kung skill build ba? Bira-bira ko na uno.
super nice stun, but yes, I love the patient that came in from Epi as well. He was waiting with that stun until the flash came in from Boss, and when it finally come out, he was already caught in his trap guard, and he just got
An enemy has been slain.
And then you can see Ebby and Steel will push out this wave, meaning that Boss has to TP back in. Otherwise he would be losing too many minions to this tower. Ebby might even stay around and set the sides against it. He'll go back and spend that assist. With a good invade, knowing that no one is on the map to push himself in. Yeah, but there's not really much of a dive. It is still Leona, he is off the field. Shadow
MidKnight.
Both scuttles, he got to Grom, so when you get out on the reset, you do have a window to try and actually go back to your damage as soon as she does hit that level 6, because that's going to be something to play for. Really have the advantage against Steel.
Of course, Analysis will be trying to shut down any more of those games from Steel. Steel so consistently.
Para na nakibot.
The LJL. High kills and assists at the 15-minute mark. Lots of kill participation as well. He's very much involved in everything his team does.
Uy!
The fact that he skip camps if there's a winning match that he knows he can use, that's also the reason why his kill participation is as high as it is, because he loves to play for the laners once they have a lead.
Definitely does. 600 gold.
Your kill good daw.
300 of that sitting in the jungle. Couple of hundred for Arya in the mid lane as well, but it looks like Nomad is actually catching a wave, so should be able to equal that advance just a little bit.
Yeah, but you can already see because of Bloodline, they're showing their strength. They have that buff lane forward, so they're putting Santos out on the map. And that is because boss is trying to be so strong. He's in a favorable state for him. Just get
Lala!
Na-revive ka.
One Gao. Wala. Nakakay karma ang ano. Ay, wala na eh. Wala bitaw no? Wala mo ko na-revive.
Gago na matay. Words ako. Words mag. Fighting.
Fighting. Yeah, tignan itong may go. Tika sana ito eh.
Side of the map. He's 15 CS down right now. You can see they've got a pickaxe to the Serena Dirk already complete on Utapon. And
Nice.
so the enemy minions started stacking up, which resulted in a slow push.
Karma. Conquer. Ito mag-arcana.
Nomads does have flash, and I think this is going to be a hard gang to pull off.
Isa ko, kadali. Ay, Oracle sa Budriga, Oracle. Magdi eh. Hindi daw. Wala.
He found it and didn't even have to burn a flash on the side of Aria. Down in the bot lane, they tried to go for a play with a stack mini towards Unicorns of Love.
Oh, ang Yi. Yi ko, ang Yi, nag-AFK.
Ibang siguro.
Plus, na-push nila ang top.
Almost came through with the hyper. Steel is trying to counter jungle because he saw the enemy jungle up here, so he will get some extra gold and experience from himself, stealing away that red buff. And I wonder if they can threaten the bot lane dive here. No, they can't. He is
Bakta ko.
as well. And it looks like we're just normal jungle clear. Just you reset it.
Revive the Jet. Nice one.
Sometimes even towers. We'll see if Unicorns of Love can use it effectively, because really, usually
Ay, dito na tayo bawag guys. Pabawi lang eh.
We've already seen through Unicorns of Love that if you can push in the bot side once again, get Santos out of the map, get the mid lane priority with no one, then you move the pieces up to the top side. You already take a look at the plates. There's only 3 left on Epi's tower. So if you can deter the conditions that we've seen, but at least historically in the split from Destination Focus Me, which was the top side, then you're already on a good track to make it into the mid game. Because early
advantage. Moments has been under a little bit of pain in the mid lane, only about 4 CS down, so not a monumental difference, but Usually he is the guy that's ahead on this team. Looks like Steel was able to sneak in here. Has the Shadow Assault. Arya jumping forward. Pass over the wall. No man's able to dodge to the side of the chains. And Anasik coming in as well.
Three by 3.
Bye.
3 by 3.
Lagit ka naka-plate, oh. Pag-work ka sa plate ba? Ariata. Ay, ward bro.
Looks like they're getting another wave shoved in here with the cannon wave coming in. You can see Happy has to respect. Nomad's also working his way up from the mid lane. Not something we saw him do too much in the CIS. Usually he was the one that everyone was
Wala lagi hindi
was getting into his lane to get him ahead here.
Kuha man sa ano, iina to. Appeal sa kulata sa ano.
Jace has the advantage.
Yeah, and it's also super easy for them because they're not being punished right now. They can go on to this tier
Hindi naman digaw.
and cross map.
Appeal na tayo mag-sulti.
Because at the minimap, they had a lot of good vision towards
So, banay ko, last game lang.
bottom lane as well at the same time, which meant that Unicorns of bottom lane, they knew exactly when they needed to go when they came forward. And now they saw Steel go out the wall. Now they're back off. But it's already too late. They already got 2
Revive me, Jet! Revive me! Come!
3 by 3.
Revive me, Jet!
And I wonder what they want to use this extra top lane priority that they have gained for themselves.
Esto miro, Drew. Kilid. Sa DR.
Ebby sat a little bit of a freeze up in the top lane. And right now, Boss having this extra time to move around. He's gonna see if he can make a difference. He goes around the map now, moving around with his jungler.
Alam, Fiora, sa Fiora.
If he can clear a clear path down towards the bottom lane,
Hinay kayo mula ko ko.
yourself engaged with your lead here, trying to punish your opponent as much as
Pag ano, magkago, nag-stealth.
Arya jumps across the wall, and Anasik is just around the corner, but Arya, of course, with the distortion.
Uy, gago namatay ko.
Uy, ako!
Is waiting in the wings. That's one plate down. Of course, the hyper charge from the Jace can get the Zero attacks off very quickly. So 2 support plates in the mid lane fallen. Unicorns as well.
and he's gonna move up there.
Alright, goes in, there's the chains. Lands off Santa, second chains comes out. That's 2 of them. Steel looking good as well. Shockwave used. Solar Flash doesn't really get the stun. Just a little bit of a
Favoring DFM to this game, and I think Unicorns of Love, they're kind of throwing away these expectations at least for you. They have the one who's proactive. They're the one who's super stable around these objectives. And we already saw break down, and we see Santos move out and about on the map all the time, and it's what's getting these leads. So now, as far as you can push in the
Aurot lagi mo.
to take care of the bot lane instead with the man advantage.
Nahurot kami sa Samira.
for DFM becomes how do you reduce
Aww.
stop this early Jace pressure from really taking over the game, because we've already seen 5 plates and a tier 2 in the top lane, 2 plates in the mid lane, and pressure on that bottom side of the map. Deep vision now there for the Unicorns of Love. You can see Ebby is freezing, trying to get as much golden experience back for himself, but now the rest of DFM have to respect a man down on the rest of the map.
Yeah, luckily for them, there is still a TP, and while the wave is really close to your base, it's super easy to reset and pick it off if he has set up a freeze. But to answer your question, a lot of pressure is on Steel because it's quite easy to predict what Unicorns of Love wants to do. If your top lane has been pushed in, then you know your bot will cross it. You want to catch them off guard, so you want to have this line of vision with them, what you can already see in the inventory of DFM. Looks of imports already being picked up. And when these people to place, it's going to be a pivotal force field happy in terms of actually finding level bridge back into the
Your
game.
turret has
And what
been
I love as
destroyed.
well is the timings of things. You can see there's 2 minutes left on the Ocean Drake. The Red Tower hasn't spawned yet either, so Eddie actually has a lot of time where the rest of the team doesn't have to push forward. Gang here taking a little bit of a bad route. Bullet time coming out as well, but Gang, that was just poor of the support for DFM.
Oh, and it does more as well, because now Ebby used his teleport. Now he can't just freeze without having any care of where boss is, and all of a sudden, Unicorns of Love once again, they find the right to play.
Grabe.
Shut down.
Because Jace can just clear up these waves down the
Gang's about half HP, should be able to walk away. With that little bit of a shield, Santa's going to get here as well. Gorgonka used by Steel for the smoke. Very mobile, very slippery, very difficult to keep hold of. 15 minutes into the game. 2,000 gold lead for the Unicorn.
Patay.
Mantap ko mo.
Yung pildi-pildi ng tagaw. Pildi ba?
Yan eh. Wala mo tayo music. Revive.
It's going to be just around here. My expectation is that you'll wait 20 seconds, 30 seconds here.
An ally has been slain.
Really, you want to clear out the
Ada yang luruskan trio.
you can see a great control ward actually there from DFM. Aria has a TP. LeBlanc TP plants are the most powerful. If you can get into a pocket of vision, you can burst someone pretty quickly. Speaking of these pockets of vision, you can quite see it here with
Ah, balik na right click kasi na akong mapa niya tubang ng digto.
You are reclaimed. You already talked about Medic, and because of this, they can move around with their slippery assassin's here.
Dear friend, please stop dying.
Kasi namatay. Ay, kasi nakapatay.
Wala. Ay, bro, revive ba? Ay, na-revive din mo si Dear friend, please stop dying. Love after.
Pura nakapatay.
Yan, napatay ko niya. BR tawon sila. Wala ka diagang sulod ka mo.
Gaya kay sa kwan ay.
Gasyong ba yun?
They might try and protect this herald to get another charge in.
Samira.
Instead decide they do not.
Kailangan ako Curial Palette.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit too difficult. Also, in terms of Unicorns of Love jungle, they have the entire top side.
Taba man ng Samira.
Then you can go for the reset. There's also a minion wave being pushed in on top lane that Nomads now have to pick up instead. So, Tempo with the reset here.
Ang kata din nato offlock yo. Try mo gud siya gud.
Try and threaten some of these outer turrets if they'd like to do that. But make no mistake, despite that build engaged there, Detonation focused me. They'll have to fight more of that. And it came from Gang. I'm going to pick up to Santos, the owner of a con match.
Masulog ito yan.
Aria looking for Nomads here. Nomads does still have the flash. The chain's connected. Nomads should have just flashed that. That was green.
Likod lang flash daw. Okay, ikaw tong ano. Revive midget. Ay, DR. Atuan na ng last na DR. Tara.
DFM got to be out on the map earlier. They had that pink board, which allowed Aria to
Nice. Dos mira.
Gago. Idas.
Kita to eh. Yung ano, life steal. Satani. Anti-heal.
Matay ka niya.
Mid na. Try mo ko ng katagod. Sayang kayo. Yun na gano'n siya. Inso.
So while you can see DFM are putting their resources up towards the top side of the map, on the other half of the map, that's where you see Unicorns of Love taking their own lead with the Jace.
Ito, uy. Yung live sa ano. 2 hit lang to ha, 2 hit. Yung live sa ano. Kata na to.
Revive, revive. Uy, ni 1,000 di ako nakuha din.
It just doesn't seem like they fancy their chances. Evie almost getting Mecca now as well, and it just doesn't seem like a play you want to commit for.
It's a lot harder to kill Agnar about to go Mega than it is to kill an Oriana, and Evie obviously perhaps showing a little bit of his experience with this team as well in his 4th World Championship. The best Japanese native player ever to have come out of the LGS.
Walang Fiora.
Continues to show us even in this game where he was put behind early on. He picked up
Reclaimed by the light, yada yada
Yes,
yada.
he did burn his TP, but that really wasn't his fault.
Playing by the light, yada yada yada.
And then here, he's willing just to step
Asa ginanalin niya.
Hmm.
Hala,
Sayap
dagan.
laban nino. Buwi na ka. Yada yada yada.
But just in the map in general, it just seems to favor DFM a bit.
We're going in, and on a sick chunk
Ayaw din sila pakuha ay Eldar. Kaya delikado din na ka-Eldar sila. Ay, Elder. Eldar.
Eldar. What?
As well, which will leave him a priority target into the next game. Once again,
So nice, ikamatay.
that we already see on the map where Talon can come from behind, where the LeBlanc
Gani.
comes from behind.
Dear friend, please stop dying.
Gago ni ward dere.
Ala, kadaggan, daggan. The fudge, prosa na ako, niabot kalit.
Namunggoy ward.
to this jungle when the dragon's about to come up in 20 seconds. DFM might decide to just forego that Drake. They say we don't need a third, it's only a mountain. You're nowhere near soul.
Sada mamo. Ay.
Ala, dagan chuy.
At least the mid prio and that first tower.
Oy, nego. Ala, dagan. Fudge ang ano? Fiora, gitain ka niyo? Ay, pag ano gaw, pag serpent gaw. Igamit ka na sa mga gaw. Ikaw man nga to ang last nga ano, defense.
Wait lang. Wait kon. Quick ward sa.
Pagiri. Nice kayo. So baka serpent ka to ga baluoy gito ano. Surong samira si mo ha. Oh, ano siya lethal king nga item. Pang reduce sa shield.
Uy.
Lulu. Patay ka lang nga. Tuy may gawin na lang ang ano. TP.
May kiwa ko nagaltab gago. Tanaw to ko.
Ano ba galtab dra? Natin problema akong dre gaya king Samira.
Ilang guardian.
Kapit ng Elder. Ay, push. Kaya lang sumi. 10 seconds. Ay, dali sa DR. Ayaw sila pakuha sa Elder. Sado, maka-Elder sila. Ito.
Lamhad to na darigaw. Dali agaw.
Yan eh. Yan. Nice! Uli.
Uy, gago.
Sayang na gawin. Kailangan ako muli, gaw. You're on your own.
Yate. Pag may baktas na lang ako.
Eh, mag-sabay ka dito sa Kuwag TP.
Hello. Adlock kayong ganda. Dragon.
Tatlo ko gosh. Una na kung Samira, delikado kung Samira.
Jump was a bit too far.
Flash and with the U-moves.
Adlock mo dahil yan.
Normally with your jungler, you don't want to have them down in the bot side.
Nice!
That doesn't matter when there's a talent in the game though, as he can just skip up there immediately after.
Nomad's chasing in here onto Arya. Chains go wide. Shot short there as well from Nomad.
Push.
Always found the mark with those this game. Been a little bit caught out by DFM. You can see Unicorns as well after having a sizable lead has now started to switch in the opposite direction. Unicorn on his way here. Again, good dodge there by Ananasik away from the chains. Steel's going to continue to parkour.
Kaya ate, magtunod din silang dalawa ba? Kaya nga sa Pinoy, BR. Oh! Nice! It was nothing, really.
Yes.
So, na. Atay! Nice one. Push. Mid go, mid mo. Mag-pressure ko dito sa baba. Eh, wala pang ano. Ay, nice Samira. Papas lang ko dito, God.
So, 5 times ako dito.
Maximum group ka.
Santa's at arm's length as well, and that is the Baron over to DFM. Let's see what they do with this Red Bull Baron power play.
Kamu pa rin, tuminig ko eh. Nice, ulit Samira. Clear. Tara, buhay na ko! Sabay na ko sa inyo! Tara, straight.
Yay!
Paliandula!
Mga bugo! Nice game.
At least in this group, you have a much easier road to make it to group stage.
Yeah, I completely agree. And now with this
Nice game, pero duha lang laging win ka.
Ano na permission na ni?
Kulang isa. Duha na itong win. Hindi mo taga-field eh. Dasa na sa nang predict ano. Failed mong gigaw?
Failed mo ha?
Failed ang duha. So, sa left. Kanang LNG o ito isa. Pag apan sa
Ay, right mo po day ako ada eh. Gago. Ay, right ba? Failed tanan gago. Pareha na tagitik.
Amot lang. Right man ako tanan. Wala ko nagpilig laing.
Nakay-win isa.
Wala. Fail gate tanan nga rin, no?
Pareha ta.
Sige, ubangasan.
Collapse it at the same time, and Unicorns of Love, they'll have issue having way too many resources down in one lane.
So the flag going in, and Anasik jumps onto Unicorn on the backline. He's going to pop the stopwatch Shatter going in with quickness as well. Shadow Assault has been popped, and already Unicorn is down, and Anasik will fall as well, and Epi goes in with an R, but the flashes away from Unicorns of Love. Arya has rejoined the fray, Nomad's able to escape, Santa's going back in, Gang dives forward with the Zenith Blade, Santa's ticking, just about survives, and DFM dived in, but Unicorns of Love were able to push them back.
Just too over-aggressive, you're the new fight, remember it's down the area!
With that chain hits, that is a very dead boss.
They're still not scared. You can tell they're making mistakes, but they're not scared to make them. They are threatening the pressure that they have right now. But once again, Detonation focused me. I think they just got a bit too aggressive down in this bottom side. You had Arya in the mid lane who was shoving it in, and you could have been way more patient with this one. Unicorns of Love, though, quickly punishing that mistake. But they're going to need more mistakes to punish.
It's the second time we've seen Ananasik finding this kick onto Udapon. You can see Santa's very willing to follow up. Doesn't really matter if you land the grand entrance, just want to make sure that quickness comes out. Shockwave was a tiny bit early, but still enough damage to kill off Udapon, and then the flash is away from Evie.
And that's also huge, because that was a lot of summoner spells you just blew for the next foreseeable fight. Yes, of course, summoner spells are still lacking as well from Detonation Focus Me, but if you're the one who's being proactive, you don't have to flash away. It's your opponents who are going to be scared instead. So now with both resets coming through, it's only 2 minutes left onto the real big objectives. We're having Ocean Soul on the map, and Baron is also going to be at the table at almost identical times.
It's the Mountain Soul, of course, here with the Mountains are coming up next, but as you say, Baron and that Soul will be up at the same time. I will say, rewatching that fight down towards the bottom lane, can you remember DFM's game versus Dalmont Kia at MSI?
I mean, it's
where they tried to take a fight around the bot lane inhibitor, and then they lost the fight and lost the game from there. I'm sure there's a few DFM fans out there who are having a few flashbacks to that moment with how that play went down.
Don't take it away from them just yet, okay? No? The PTSD doesn't need to kick in just yet. If it does happen, though, okay, fair, I feel bad. But right now, they are still the team with the lead.
They definitely should win this game from this sort of position, right? They have the advantage, they're in a good spot, they have all of their items built up, and they've shown us consistently that they can find picks and they can find these fights. It's just you have that little nagging doubt when Unicorns of Love start to find some of these key picks. When Ananasik continues to find these kicks in fights, Unicorns are not down and out. They are very willing to take a fight.
That's how they need to do it as well. They need to be able to create their own vision pockets, because they still have the Rakan, which is, you know, one of the most slippery supports to have in the game, with the movement speed that comes in from your Altar Smell. Super easy to find these flanks, and that's what you're looking for as well. You can't rely on Ananasik every time. You need more members to show up as well. So Santas, I'm looking at you to try and help this Lee Sin find the pivotal targets, because if you get multiple members in a knockoff, you have the Orianna Shockwave to follow up. Rapidance Death Cap almost available for Nomanz as well. But my big threat on DFM right now is Arya with his items. He got the Magic Pen, you got the Ludens, and you got the Rapidance. If you get caught off guard by this guy, you're dead.
4,800 gold, the lead right now for DFM. Unicorns of Love fighting back in this matchup, but still very much against the ropes. DFM are looking for their first win here at Worlds 2021. Would be if they make it through to group stage, it will be the first time the LJL has ever made it to the main stage. Unicorns of Love did it last year, of course, and struggled in their group, but still for a region like CIS or like the LJL, even making it to groups is a huge accomplishment. That's what they look to do. We are setting up around this dragon. Battle lines drawn. Unicorns of Love will enter from the mid lane. DFM entering from the top side near their blue buff. Still going in. Santa's going to dodge away. There's the culling onto Gang, and that's half of Leona's health. Arya dives into the back line, and look at the burst. Argonaut, less than 300 HP. He's going to eat the honey fruit to try and heal himself up. Nomanz has the TP, and Unicorns of Love will try and delay this, but Arya continues dodging in, dodging out. Still unkilled in this game. Still unkilled on the block in summer. DFM waiting on this dragon, not really aggroing it, maybe waiting for Evie to build up that Mega Gnar. Arya goes in onto Nomanz again, and Nomanz shields himself a little bit too late. The dragon resets.
Evie almost Mega Gnar as well. It's halfway there. She can tell they are looking as well.
Ananasik goes in, but the dragon secure. That's the Mounted Soul going over to DFM. Still looking for the backline. The bullet time rips them to shreds. And the Unicorns go extinct like the mythical beast they are. Santa's forced away. Nomanz trying to dodge away to the side as well, but he still has the Shockwave here, just in case he needs to fight this one out. Santa's and Nomanz trying to do what they can. Udapon with the slow steal, still chasing. DFM really want these kills so that they can get the Baron flash away from Steel. Arya going in, lands onto Santos, that's one. Nomanz should be able to walk this one out, but TP comes in and Evie's on the chase. Arya will take it. DFM clean up the fight.
Yeah, but it was very messy. While this happened, Ananasik, he was able to get the mid lane priority, so they don't have to worry about getting pushed in at their inhibitors already. Bot lane is shoving in, but now your entire team is up towards the top side. You can threaten the Baron now, and it should go over to DFM. Unicorns of Love here with Ananasik. trying to be stealthy here. I don't think there's much he can do in this position. Gang coming around as well. He should be done.
Yeah, it's the solo player. Unicorn's going to chase him down. Kick away, and Anasik will get to the blast cone and manages to survive for the time being. But the Baron is still being focused down by DFM. Really, they're just trying to keep this jungler away from the Baron for as long as possible. They will kill him. Splits up the death timers as well, meaning that DFM with Baron will have a man advantage for the next 41 seconds.
They can even get a bigger man advantage if they look for this one.
Oh, Argonaut! What? Oh, Arya, undefeated on LeBlanc in the LGL and currently looking to be undefeated so far at Worlds 2021.
And what was the stat? You told me about his LeBlanc at the start of this game, Medic.
Unkilled on LeBlanc in summer, and he continues to be so far this game. Gang flashes in, DFM looking to end this right here, right now. There goes the kill onto No Man's Boss, trying to join the fray. Evie will die. Gang going in once again with the Zenith Blade. Boss pops the stopwatch, but there's a double to steal. 6-0-4. Add one more to the score for DFM. The inhibitor's now their target, and they have no time on Anasik, but they do still have at least 15 seconds on Argonaut. Anasik alone defended his base right now.
Yeah, but your wave clear sucks as Lee Sin. It's also bearing up minions. There's not much you can do about this situation. I think DFM, they're going to try and take it now.
They were chasing Anasik off at the Nexus will go down as DFM secure their first win at Worlds 2021.
It could be cleaner, it still could. Early game was very much in the favor of Unicorns of Love that came out of the gate with guns blazing. But once we hit that mid game, once we started to punish the side lane mistakes we saw from Unicorns of Love, that's where DFM found their way back into this game. And they found it around Steel and Arias, the players we've been highlighting as well on this roster that did a phenomenal job finding the comeback in this game.
And on the back of the first Talon we've seen here at Worlds as well. Incredible stuff from Steel. We expected him to be a key carry for DFM, but really showed up in that game and got his lanes ahead and got his team ahead and got them to their first win of a potential 4 here in the group stage. Unicorns of Love, of course, on the other hand, will be a bit disappointed in the way the game went. No Man's, I think, especially had a few moments in a side lane where he was just a bit overextended, where he just got caught out, and it didn't really work out for them.
I think it's also the fact that we saw him on the Orianna. We didn't really get to see him push at advantages because it's super hard for you to come in and punish this LeBlanc. So while you did have a nice, team fight setting, if you finally set it up, it just felt like that setup exactly. They never found the right position for it, and when they finally started looking for the fights, it just weren't in a favorable position.
Yeah, Unicorns of Love struggling there. We'll soon hear more about DFM's win from Steel, the first jungler to pick Talon in World history. Don't you go anywhere.
Make or break. Make it yours.
Oh yes, the king of the jungle. Time for a quick Red Bull?
Red Bull? But you still won't be quicker than the lion!
I don't have to be quicker than the lion, just quicker than you.
Red Bull gives you wings.